Mm-hmm.
She shits right next to the steps.
Oh no!
I had to stop her. No, initially this little dumb bitch wouldn't even go off the steps and was shitting on the top step.
Shitting on the steps is next to the grass is the funniest shit in the world.
You know, ain't no grass back here. But
my mother has the little pads down.
Mm-hmm.
So she has them down in the basement. So days like when it's really, really rainy and the dog ain't having it, she can go in the basement.
Right.
She'll pee on the pad. But the poop never seems to end on the pad.
No, they ain't doing that. You know, hey, remember, you don't shit where you eat. You don't shit where you pee. Boom. Got it. Hold on.
Like mad pads down there. It's like a whole section. It's like
pad land.
4 or 5 pads.
It's pad land.
It's pads. And she got a whole corner to herself in the basement. And OMG.
Let me start the podcast. You know
Spark
what I
this
say.
shit up.
Yeah, without further ado.
Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 112 is gonna win that battle, by the way.
We'll talk.
Is it 112 and Jagged Edge?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know how I felt about Jagged Edge.
We know.
But my whole thought process is do they really have enough material for like a battle like Beanie and Bounty Killer did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, let breathe. I hear it. We sit it back high school today. We sit back high school.
I saw Tiff yesterday.
Know what I mean? Oh man, that's my shit. That's the shit though. But anyway, we talking shit. But hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
To episode 32.
32?
Of the Mr. Know-It-All
32?
podcast.
32?
32, man. I'm 32.
Hey, Joe.
I am your host, Mr. Know-It-All.
Talk to him.
A.K.A. Keith Saunders.
What else?
B.K.A. Michael Voorhees.
What else you got for him?
And A.K.A. Haiku if you want to be rapper about it.
Spits hot fire.
Dylan. Who's my favorite rapper?
Dylan. Yeah. and your respective boxes in this Zoom.
Where am I at today?
Again,
I don't know.
You're always below us. But
no, she's not up on my screen unless she pops on. Like I'm literally just saying.
Oh no, then you don't have your what's the name on.
My joint is on.
Oh, you got the
at the top right. It'll say speaker view or gallery view.
Yeah, you got the flash feed. That's what it is. You got the unless she's speaking. Yeah, switch it up so you can see people.
I had to switch it up.
All right. Well, you can as you can hear, next to me is the mouth of the South. Introduce yourself, sir.
It is your boy Rough Rider. AKA R. Dot. AKA Ruffy Hendrix. The General Mr. I'm Going in, AKA I am Ruffy Hendrix, the mouth of the South.
Yes, he is. And below us on my screen, that is the one that records.
Keeping it shaded.
With the polka dot porno background, the 70s porno background with the shades on. What's your name again?
KQ.
Say what?
Kelly Q.
Okay.
Joseph's daughter, just in case you didn't know.
What else?
Daughter, because I don't want no issues. It took two. But they did give birth to the diva.
When?
At all time.
At all
Drops
time.
the mic.
All time. Even though I'm not feeling very devious today.
She on her incognito.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You look like
why you looking like Kenny? You look like Kenny.
She looks like the goddamn Unabomber. What are
Kenny
you doing?
Kenny
From South Park.
That's why you took the hood back off as soon as I started saying.
Y'all remember now that my son's name is Caleb with a K. His mother's name is Kelly with a K. And his father's name is
Kenny.
Yeah,
KKK.
That's why I had to be like,
Okay, KK.
That's the reason why.
Wait a minute, no. His aunt and his uncle on his dad's side is Kim and Kevin. Anyway.
You can't forget Kendra and
well, I'm Kier, so it's just a lot of K's.
And I'm Keith. So therefore, hey, you know what though? I never knew that. Yo, hold, wait. We don't say that because our three initials on the show is KKK. I'm not really with that. You know what I'm saying? Let's not talk about that again.
Well, no, technically, I mean, that's the middle name. His name Michael. So
that's not. No.
Is the other way around?
No, I technically have two legal first names, two legal middle names. Michael and Kier are my legal first names.
This nigga, this nigga's a down south country bumpkin nigga. You know this. You already know it. This shit is different.
Mama gave me a name. Sperm donor had to put his piece in. Sperm donor gave me Michael. Mama gave me Kier. I mean, it kind of went the same way with the middle names, but I kind of get his last name.
Well, let me give a shout out to our Spotify listeners, our Apple Podcast listeners, Google Podcast listeners, Stitcher listeners, the home team Anchor listeners. Yep, and the YouTube viewership, that'll be out tomorrow because it's always
on the tube.
Shout out to our the Facebook fan page, Mr. Know-It-All Podcast fan page on Facebook. Get with us, follow us on IG at Mr._Know-It-All_pod on IG. Also, do not forget, please send your fuckery, all your bullshit and fuckery over to the Gmail. Mr. Know-It-All-Pod at gmail.com. Mr. Know-It-All-Pod at gmail.com. All right, y'all. So we always start the show off with the useless fact.
Let's get to it.
This is one of the first weeks that I can honestly say that this fact is extremely useful. Did you know that there are over 525,000 active podcasts in the world today?
Wow. I believe you. Everybody got a podcast, it seems.
Yep. And they have 18, and it's about, I guess, on a regular basis, dropping 18.5 million episodes. And the one thing that I can say about scrummaging through podcasts, everybody shouldn't be doing podcasts. And 18.3 out of the 18.5 is complete and utter garbage. You're goddamn right, I'm hating. You know what I'm saying? Don't clog the lane up. Don't clog the lane up. You know what I'm saying? Because some people got it and some people don't. You know what I mean?
You got it. If you don't,
well, some will last and some won't last.
And that's the one thing that I can honestly say about podcasts. There's so much going on because Ruff, remember when you friend of ours, they wanted to she wanted to do a podcast. So she hit me up. And I said,
I just heard from her friend yesterday too.
Oh yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, well, this is what you need. You need this, you need this, you need this. Oh, that's a whole lot. I'm like, well, nigga, you ain't trying to start a podcast. Like honestly, if you're serious about it, because everybody wants to feel like they have something to say.
Yeah.
But
everyone has something to say.
But does everyone want to listen?
Yeah, exactly.
That's one key. Other key is what you have to say going to be receptive.
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
And then
let the church say amen.
Amen.
Glory and hallelujah.
But that's the guy's honest truth. Because
everything is not for everybody. The same thing I tell people when they be like, "Yo, I want to be." We've had homies. Hey, man, I gotta get with you, man. Get on with your gig and the dances.
No, dude, bye.
I know, like
everything is not.
It is not for everybody.
One. I tell females the same. Even females who have nice bodies. When you get into different arenas, and that's not really your arena, your lane,
right?
You're going to have to change. Either it's going to change you, or you're going to have to change so you are no longer you.
Hey, tell them, man.
Did y'all catch that in the back? If you go into an avenue, a section or arena that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
Either you are going to have to change.
Right.
to be productive with it, or it's just going to change you, period.
Bro, this way.
It ultimately won't be you.
All right, so here we go.
Drop
I don't
that
even.
bomb.
That shit is ridiculous because that leads up to a whole nother topic, something that wasn't even crossing my mind today. But we might even circle back around to something about that. The reason why I bought our podcast is, have y'all heard about the Joe Rogan deal? The infamous Joe Rogan Spotify deal. Shout out to Spotify. We on Spotify.
Shout out to Spotify.
But listen. So Joe Rogan.
We like checks too.
Joe Rogan, right, signs a multi-year deal for all of his content over to the platform of Spotify, YouTube. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Now we can.
All right. He signed. I want y'all to hear this clear. He signed for estimated, from what we're hearing, rumored, over $150 million 3-year contract. Joe Rogan to bring his content over. Now he's making 35 to 40 million per year per sources off of his YouTube content, advertisers, and things like that. Essentially, y'all, Joe Rogan does what we do. He just basically has guests and stuff like that he interviews. And there's a lot of podcasts out there that are, on par, and they actually make good money in what they do. You have to understand the podcasting landscape is changing forever. Because the one thing about Spotify is Spotify does video, but it's almost like they don't really do too much video. So what happens is that if you play a song that has a video attached to it, you ever know if you play it on Spotify, it'll play in the background. The video will play in the background if you look at it. But you can still play it without that. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Joe Rogan's situation is that all of his, by the end of this year, all of his content will be over here, all of his back catalog. And at that time, he will exclusively go Spotify. He is on every other platform except Spotify, which means that he, I don't know if he had a distribution situation like this. He probably wasn't anything like Anchor or anything like that, but he's on like, he's on Apple Podcast and Google Podcast and, things like that, the other, Stitcher. He was on, a bunch of other platforms. So yeah, essentially I guess the battle was between Apple and Spotify, and I guess Spotify got the upper hand. Do you have any details, like further details on that, Kelly? I see you doing some research right now.
I'm on the New York Times website now, but it's not really saying anything outside of you think I was nuts saying this, but it's true. His fans are everywhere. I met them working behind a register and wearing loafers at a hedge fund. So whatever he's doing, he's bringing in the money. It opens up saying that news of Tuesday's deal, which gave Spotify exclusive rights.
That's exclusive rights. Right.
To the Joe Rogan experience sent the company stock soaring. It added $1.7 billion to its market cap in 23 minutes. And a critic pointed out that on Twitter that a musician would need to generate 23 billion streams on Spotify to earn what they're paying Joe Rogan just for his podcasting rights.
So he's shitting on musicians right now.
Well, no, but what y'all have to understand is that this is going to regulate what we've been talking about. I've been listening to it on other podcasts.
He doesn't even want to talk about how much, because of the state we're in and being that some people are working. He doesn't want to discuss the amount, but according to the Wall Street Journal, the deal could amount to more than $100 million.
I heard 150 million. That was via Forbes. No, so my
takes up almost the whole yard.
My thing is that when listening to it just, and I understand him, and I can respect him for basically saying what he's saying. He doesn't want to be the one to say, "Look, I signed a mega deal, to sit down and shoot the shit with people." You know what I mean? During this time.
Wherever he was podcasting from, the original company, I guess it was owned by somebody named Bill Simmons. Spotify reportedly paid almost double for Bill Simmons' podcasting company.
Absolutely.
Earlier this year.
Yeah, this was probably last month, and and Bill Simmons' wave was but it was a big deal, because he has a podcast and content.
Well, I mean, just right here, just for this statement right here. Imagine if I had told you a dozen years ago that the former host of Fear Factor. So how many people watch Fear Factor? Because he was the original host.
I loved it.
He was the original host. That was my shit. And that show was on, what, 6-7 years? Maybe more. I don't know. Because, I mean, Ludacris took it over on MTV. But
might say Fear Factor is still coming on, isn't it?
Yeah, but Ludacris hosted
it. I think Ludacris hosted. I don't know if he still does.
And then he was a color commentator for the MMA. So that's two different.
He still is. Right. UFC.
Right. That's two different types of groups right there.
Right.
Who loves cool cars and shooting guns and working out. A guy with a raw interview show, features comedians. I mean, he touches a little bit of everybody.
He's a comic. Yeah,
I'm not a fan. He's a comic.
Right.
I'm not a fan. I mean, I remember when he was on news radio. That's the only thing I liked him in.
The thing about him is that he's extremely universal. So his arm stretch
reaches
at a far length. So him bringing his content, like, you may not like him, but what happens is that he has a situation in which he has relationships all throughout the industry. So he'll sit down and have these talks with Mike Tyson and have these talks with big time celebrities or comedians or Kevin Hart's or anything like that, because of the relationships that he built. And essentially what they're paying him to say that, over these next 3 years is basically telling everybody, hey, look, this guy's platform minus television is basically worth more than the majority of networks these days are worth.
Basically.
This is crazy. So here's the deal.
Well,
like when we start talking about everybody else.
That means we got to strap in our seatbelts.
Oh, absolutely.
That means we got to strap in our seatbelts.
Dude, I'm paying attention to this shit so well.
It's just saying we need to strap in our seatbelts.
Because there are other avenues that are doing this as well. There are other avenues. There was a situation that
major key alert.
Last week when I was talking about a situation with podcast beef, there was certain things that I wanted to bring up, but it was another thing that I wanted to talk about in that. There was a podcast called Call Her Daddy, and they had they're the #1 podcast on Barstool Sports.
Kelly's face, oh my God!
Yeah. Well, it's called Call Her Daddy. Don't listen. It's basically two white girls that they sit around and they talk about sports and they shoot the shit and you know what I mean, what they know, but I guess they act a little ditzy or whatever. And apparently, they felt like they were getting shafted in the numbers that they were getting from Barstool Sports. Now, Barstool Sports, as we know, is a big-time app/internet company that's directly involved with a lot of the major sports out there. So they basically have press credentials, you know what I mean, to get backstage, and they can, whatever, Gillian Wallow, you know what I mean, $1 million game assigned to them. So and they are another avenue that are bringing aboard a lot of podcasts. You know what I'm saying? So them too.
Well, here's something that speaks to Joe Rogan, period, or what he brings. So in part of the article from the New York Times, it says, while GQ was putting Pharrell gowned in a yellow sleeping bag on the cover of his new masculinity issue, introduced by the editor, explaining that the men's magazine isn't really trying to be exclusive for or about men at all. Right. Joe Rogan swings kettlebells and bow hunts, and men are hungry. He's serving steak rare. So GQ's publisher has laid off some 100 employees since the pandemic began. But in the meantime, the Joe Rogan Experience has had 190 downloads a month.
So is that saying something?
So he's reaching someone, right? He's reaching some, the magazine, like GQ wasn't really trying to be masculine anymore. Because GQ, you think about,
GQ been changing.
Is a men's man,
so
right?
And he's saying that GQ went metrosexual and Joe Rogan stayed as a man's man.
Right. And so he's reaching people that GQ is probably not reaching right now. So they're going for their content somewhere.
I respect a man's man.
Cool.
I respect a man's man.
Listen, it's something out there for everybody.
It absolutely is. And apparently, you know how they say it's something out there for everybody? Apparently, there's a lot out there for Joe Rogan. Big shout out to Joe Rogan.
Shout out Joe Rogan. We got
Joe, right? The Joe Rogan. That is
congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations, man. That is great. And I think that what it's going to do is it's really going to open the door for a lot of other podcasts. Welcome to the Listen Know It All podcast. We
in this piece.
Listen, so let's move from one Joe to another. Let's move from Joe Rogan
to
Uncle Joe Biden. Fuck is going on with Uncle Joe Biden?
Still vote for him.
I told y'all asses. I told you this senile ass cracker is going to fucking listen. At the end of the day, there is first and foremost a man approaching 80 years old. A white man approaching 80 years old is racist. Can I say it again? A white man approaching 80 is racist. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the fuck it is. The nigga just don't know how to not be the way he is. He sat there and told Charlemagne, basically, look, homie, if you looking at what Trump is doing and you're looking at, what I'm doing, and you gonna vote for Trump instead of me, you ain't black.
Did you see the meme with him with the braids?
Yeah.
No.
You see the meme with him with the cornrows?
With the niggas sitting next to the niggas playing, sagging their pants and shit. I mean, listen, like, don't get me wrong. Uncle Joe did right by Barack. What the fuck is going on, Kelly? Is he going to see now? Should we all the Joe Biden promoted, all of the people that were supporting him when he was going against Bernie and then voting Bernie out of the fucking building, now are they gonna be screaming if they have Bernie back? Because I told the ass before, I was mad.
Bernie can't. First of all, Bernie can't come back.
Well, I know. Trust me, I know this now. But
even
it pisses me off though that
even if he could physically, Bernie can't come back. He's not well enough to do it. I really don't think that if he was elected president, he would have made it through his presidency.
Joe Biden is not gonna make it.
Joe Biden make it.
No,
hey, we said Donald Trump wasn't gonna fucking make it, but not for health issues, but that somebody was gonna get him the fuck out of here. Now look at what the fuck is going on.
We had like
That's
year,
our fault.
And then somebody was.
Oh, so was gonna take his ass out? No.
Impeach. No. Try to impeach him, motherfucker. He like.
Yeah, exactly. Hate that shit.
And that's
I got enough dirty secrets on enough motherfuckers in power to keep my orange ass here.
All right, let's see.
What pissed me off was everyone thought that when he got impeached, he would leave office.
I prayed for it.
Bill Clinton. Exactly. Bill.
We knew it wasn't going to happen. If
anybody was around in the 90s, Bill Clinton got impeached.
We talked about this.
That was different because he did not have sexual relations with that lady.
Impeachment is impeachment. Even though it's different reasons why they got impeached, impeachment is impeachment. But impeachment does not mean
you don't have
to. Go back, look at Nixon.
Nixon didn't get impeached.
Nixon didn't get impeached.
No, he
got impeached.
Nixon did get impeached.
Nixon stepped down before they started the impeachment process.
No. They impeached Nixon, and then before they voted him out, he stepped down.
That's when he stepped down.
Because we talked about this portion already. That when all the war
he got impeached.
He got impeached.
And then he stepped down when he
stepped down after.
Go through the process. He's like, y'all gonna go through that? No, don't worry about it.
So
I'm out.
At the end of the day, I'm not. But see, this is what Democrats. This is what we do. Why, when I mentioned Joe Biden, we went right back to Donald Trump. Fuck that. That's his arch nemesis right now. Somebody please tell me what the fuck is going on with Uncle Joe. Stop locking him in the attic and then acting like he ain't there and then sliding his meals under the door and then you expect him to come out to be a president. You know what I'm saying? You don't let him say shit when it comes time to say shit, but then when the time
Nixon was not impeached.
He wasn't?
No, he was not.
That's bullshit.
I watch enough Vietnam political movies He was not impeached.
He
he stepped. That's why he stepped down, because he did not want impeachment on his historic record.
So who were the presidents? So who were the presidents that were actually impeached?
Clinton. Trump. Johnson. Who else?
Let it be Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, Johnson. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm looking on this right now.
But Johnson got impeached and kicked out of office. Correct?
Oh, you are absolutely right, Kelly. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I've been running with the narrative that
it was Johnson.
Nixon was going to be impeached. He stepped down before the impeachment process happened. So it was Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, and Agent Orange.
But Johnson actually did get removed from office.
Yes.
That's who we keep mixing him and Nixon up.
Right, but see, the funny thing about it is that if you ask, like,
only three presidents have been impeached.
Yeah. Revisionist history,
and the craziness is that 2 have happened in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Out of 45 presidents.
Well, yeah, because we nasty.
2 have happened in our lifetime.
Yeah,
fucking shit up.
Because
they've been fucking shit up.
This is fucking nasty. That's why the 90s and 2000s, the generation.
And this was Andrew Johnson
and the millenniums is disgusting. That's why these motherfuckers got impeached.
Hold up, but try this on top of that, right?
And Andrew Johnson, he was impeached. This was like the 1860s.
That was the
Johnson Reconstruction.
Yeah, I know. When they impeached you in the 1860s, they took you out back and shot you. The horse dragged you away. Yes.
But see, here's a funny thing, right? When you think about it, in the 18s, what black people was voting?
0.
And it wasn't until halfway, almost a third of the way into the 90s, that black people were able to start voting.
Mm-hmm. But see, here we go. We still
and now more of us are getting to voting. I can't speak because I'm still not registered because of that. I'm felony understand, but I am about to register because I was saying there is a way I can. And I've never been one to really be in politics.
You voting for Uncle Joe?
I can't speak on that right now.
No, don't be
I'm not going something right now. You may not be able to speak on it, and I'm not going to speak on who I am. Who I am.
I gotta do research. I gotta do more research. I have to do more personal research.
I have to research on everybody else that I need to vote for.
Okay.
But on the global scale, at this point, it's the lesser 2 evils. It's the lesser 2 evils. At this point, I can deal with Biden right now. We can give him 1 year like we did Bush Sr., and then we can get in the person we want. But we got to get Agent Orange out the office.
We've made this mistake before. The bottom line is that the biggest problem that
Black Orange mistaking that now.
Yeah. The biggest problem is that Black Democrats, for some reason, believe that there are not Black Republicans, and for some reason are just they find it mystical that people actually vote for Trump. When Trump was elected, niggas was like, "Who the fuck is voting for this nigga?" I'm like, "No."
What pisses me
off? A lot more people than are voting for who you want.
How many women were out there saying they were voting for Hillary, and then they voted for Trump?
See, all right. So so you saying that the woman vote turned on Hillary because women don't like women?
I didn't say that. I said they didn't.
You said because they two-faced?
They didn't like her. I trust me. If I could have voted for someone else, for a Democratic representative, I would have.
Y'all been trying to kill Bernie off for the past 8 years now. Bernie's still alive. And he's still making a difference.
Bernie?
They try to kill Bernie.
Here's the
thing. He ain't gonna make it.
When we went to the prelims, basically, I voted for Bernie.
Okay.
But I guess my vote wasn't enough.
And that's the point. Nobody's vote is up. So the same way we look at it and we wondering who the hell is voting for Trump is the same people that wasn't voting for Bernie. People are not smart enough to make the correct decisions.
Wait, no,
so therefore it's going to be fucked up regardless.
Here's something that pissed me off because I know a lot of people that felt like their vote didn't matter at all. Okay. So they didn't vote.
Because they voted for Bernie the first time, and then Hillary get an ass in there.
No, even before that, they didn't even get it. They didn't even go in and vote for Bernie to beat. They just didn't vote. Period.
Well, fuck
like I vote for every single thing that there is to vote for because voting says I can complain.
I didn't want to.
That I am active in the political process, and I can complain. If you don't vote, you can't complain. I need you to shut the fuck up.
Listen,
that's what I need you to do.
I'm supposed to shut the fuck up.
You have a reason.
Anybody,
you have a reason.
Yeah.
No, honestly, before that, I've never ever voted in anything. Because from I want to say second grade, I want to say my mom got back in the truth as a Jehovah's Witness. And they didn't believe in politics.
That's the worst,
So
they don't vote.
Third grade, fourth, all through high school.
I come from that background.
I didn't vote for anybody for anything. And even when I stepped away, which that's still my religious belief, I just don't act accordingly, and will honestly state that. But I speak to Jehovah every darn day, several times a day. But that's I just haven't. And I've been looking at things, thinking about things, and honestly, I am ready to register to vote. When I was a couple of years ago, that's when I first found out, oh, you're a felon, you can't do shit, and I was in jail. And I was actually looking to vote for Obama.
Everybody was looking to vote for Obama, and it was a great look in order to do it. And I say, more power to you, Kelly, because anybody with the polka dot 70s porno background should be able to complain and vote for anybody that they want to. Anybody that you want to, Kelly.
I'm just waiting for the disco ball to drop down.
So, all right. Whatever. We still wasn't talking about Joe Biden, but all right. So hopefully his senile ass will figure something out when I stop being openly racist.
Here's what I'll say about Biden and the Biden background, and what I hope. I'm not going to say it definitely happened, but what I hope. Because he was able to play second to Barack.
Okay.
To Obama, to Mr. Obama, to President Obama, to the dude that we love and miss, the last real president we had.
It's over, Kelly. It's over.
No, it's never over.
I miss him too.
Look,
be like, she like Rambo. She like Rambo. Nothing is over. Nothing is over. Nothing.
So you see him just like this.
I miss him so much. I miss him so much.
Come back.
But he was able to play the background with Barack. And he was able to take guidance from Barack.
Like a good sidekick.
Right. So my whole thing is that he still, Barack still has his ear. So I'm hoping that with the office that Barack had put in place and some of the things that he had put in place, that maybe Biden can put back the things that they left, put it back to how they had it left. He's a different president, so he may do some different things, but President Obama had a whole pandemic plan that he was talking about 5-6 years ago. Yeah. So he could put that back in place, put some things that should have never been moved, that should just been, whether you Republican or Democrat, just been in place for the safety of your country.
I just hope that he remembers the shit.
Yeah.
I'm not. Look, I'm worried about it.
I think he'll do a better job remembering than what's his name, Ronald Reagan.
All right, so let's talk about this. We opening back up.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Moving to yellow.
We're moving to yellow.
We're moving to yellow.
Okay, well, if we at yellow, people in Philly have decided to say fuck yellow, blow right through the yellow light, and go straight to green.
Yeah, because especially down North Philly.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. Happy Memorial Day, everybody, because we're recording on Memorial Day, and the show will drop on Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
I want to send a big shout out to all the servicemen, active duty and retired active duty. And
wrong.
Rest in peace. Wait. Listen. I know. Listen. I was gonna say rest in peace to those who passed away. That's what Memorial Day is about. Thank you, Kelly. Listen.
Look, you talking to a soldier's daughter.
She ain't let you wind it up.
I know. She didn't let me line it up to get it correct. I gotta, I can't just, I can't send a shout out to, you know what I'm saying, and the rest in peace to everybody without, you know what I mean, the families that were affected. So happy Memorial Day and rest in peace to those that gave your life for this country, no matter what race, color, creed. Thank you for your service. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, they wilding out. Ruff, please give us a quick synopsis about your situation. Just basically tell us what happened to
my daughter's car. Yeah, my daughter's car.
Your daughter's vehicle. Can I just line the story up for a second? Okay.
Please
do. So I turned on. So I was I don't know what I'm probably in Facebook or something like that, Instagram, just seeing some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they started showing signs at 27th disease will be more. I said 27th disease will be more.
My hood.
I said, what the hell? I said, that's North Philly. I was like, oh, yeah,
my hood, the valley.
And apparently these people just started. They was dancing. It was supposedly a graduation party that people were twerking on cars and shit like that. And my esteemed colleague over here's daughter got caught in the midst of everything. So what do you think happened? You think somebody was dancing on it? You think
I'm pretty adamant. No, they was dancing on it.
They was dancing on it.
They was dancing on it, and I'm gonna catch somebody else's video. I seen the one video you see. I seen that. I shared that to y'all. When I got down there. Quick fast forward. I got down there at the park on the corner of the bus zone in the first place. And I was driving my daughter's car. Go to see family. I'm not even going to say who, because again, this is down my end. Go to see family. But people know me. They know where I was at. Go to see family, chilling with family. You know, look out and you see, like they already had started, but it was maybe 20 people in the lot when I first pulled up. Maybe 15 to 20 people. Within about 15 minutes, it turned into a block party. Half an hour so late, if even that, this is the first time the cops come out there and block up the block. I look out the window, it's clear over 150, possibly 200 motherfuckers out here.
God damn.
Okay? This shit is looking like the Greek in 98, 99. All right?
Damn. And if you don't know what it is, like, you better know. Like
a black spring break, a black college reunion. That's the best way to put it. A whole bunch of ignorant niggas. Man,
niggas was out.
That's the best. And of course, everybody cameras out. You know, video record. That's why I say other videos gonna surface. I'm continually peeking out the window. I can't go anywhere because at this point it's all blocked up. The cops are trying to clear up dispatch. Here's what first pissed me off. I look out the window and I count 8 police officers in one white shirt that have no mask on. So that was my first red flag.
Right.
Fuck them all these niggas.
How long until you were able to get to the car after all the shit was going on?
It wasn't clear enough. I was there for at least almost 2.5 hours before it was clear enough for me to go out. And what happened, pretty much, they got them out of that lot. They had been the cops had been made the DJ because they had a live DJ and everything, bro. Like these motherfuckers had a whole DJ out that bitch. Listen, I ain't going. Listen, I'm not going to knock. I understand the hustle, but the same token, we don't have this conversation. I've turned down DJing gigs as well as dancing gigs because I'm not ready to be around that many goddamn people. My health and the safety and health of my family and my household is more important to me than that monetary value that's only going to take care of a bill. But I come out. And they basically, like I said, they moved from off the lot on Cecil B between Taney and 27th to the lot that's on 27th. Got cars in the lot and everything, and females still out there twerking. There's still a couple cops out there.
So when did you notice? After that is when you noticed the.
I go to get in the car, and as I'm going to get in the car, I look at the windshield, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with the windshield? I come around the whole fucking windshield, as y'all see, it's fucking broke. Cracked up. You know what I mean? Looking like a goddamn spider web on this bitch.
Damn.
So now I'm looking because I'm ready to snap.
Right.
I'm ready to snap. Fortunately, I speak, yo, bro. How the fuck go to the windshield and I continually walk around and I see the fucking roof. Yeah. Then and then.
So all right.
He said, put it up. You're hot.
So did you notify insurance company that did all go through the proper procedures and everything?
Bro, I went up to one of the officers. I said, my man, you might want to come over here and take this report for me before I catch this case with you present.
Okay. Smart.
He said, huh? I said, you might want to come over here and take this report with me, officer.
Right.
On my daughter's car before I catch a case over here with you present. And ask your white shirt to join us too.
Crazy.
When they seen the car, they was like, I said, dude, this is my 16-year-old daughter's car. She hasn't even she's driven it, but she hasn't even got a chance to go take her license, take her test for her license. She has a permit. Right. But they're going to actually take her license test because of they still haven't opened back up for that.
That's nuts. That is crazy.
Right.
So
sure, call the insurance. Insurance is not going to cover nothing because it's vandalism. Insurance is not going to cover. So all this is going to be completely out of pocket. So that's about $200 for the windshield. And it's not a question of exactly how much it's going to be for the roof.
I'm sorry I brought it up, bro, but I had to. The reason why
fucking idiots.
The reason why I brought it up is that
disrespectful.
Apparently, this shit is just it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I kind of had a feeling that shit like this was gonna happen. I just didn't think that these young dumbass Thundercats was gonna go out here and start throwing parties. Kelly, didn't you say one nigga was up there stripping? You know what I'm saying?
First of all, of course he had to be on something. But when he walked into the party,
right,
he had to have all of this on to take it all off. But there was a comment.
It was outside.
There was a comment on the video, like so many people commented, like, how many shirts did he have on? He had like 6-7 shirts on.
Oh my God.
A couple of them were t-shirts, but a couple of them were polos. So you on something.
That nigga he had been robbing motherfuckers.
They were videoing him take all the stuff off.
He had all his wardrobe on.
Why did you walk out the door with all that stuff on?
He homeless. He had his whole wardrobe on.
Jeepers.
Yeah, I mean, he had his whole wardrobe on. He had all 7 of his shirts on. So he had to. Yeah, I mean, but in the same video, you see motherfucker, little dumb, dirty pussy ass thought, little hot in the pants ass fucking thought, and little dirty dick thirsty ass nigga on my people's next door neighbor's car, twerking and acting like y'all supposed to be dancing fucking on somebody's car, and it ain't y'all's. What pisses me off the most about this is the motherfuckers who are doing this, have no car. Don't have shit. Living at home with mama, auntie, or grandma, or whoever the fuck will take them the fuck in. You wearing your girlfriend outfit, bitch. You wearing your cousin drawers, bitch.
We need some parental accountability. I understand that y'all tired of y'all kids at home.
Grown motherfuckers out there too, and
it was grown niggas out there. I know y'all want to get out. We want to get out like everybody else, but please just follow these guidelines just for a little bit longer.
No social distancing was going on.
No social distancing. They was damn near fucking outside. What do you mean social distancing?
And they was fucking on the car.
It was a whole party.
I can't. But listen. So all right. I want to because we can talk about that all day, and I really don't want to keep going back. I want to talk about. This music matches Kelly's curtain in the background, but the I wanted to talk.
That's why we can't hear you.
Oh, don't be mad. They can still hear me. Everything is being recorded.
Now we can.
We can hear you now, but neither one of us can hear you before.
That's all right. So check this out, right? So here we go. there has been a topic that has been trending a lot lately, and it's for something that we're not the over analytical sex podcast, but we do talk a lot about sex. But one thing I can say, I found that shut the fuck up. So this is what happened, right? Everybody keeps talking about this thing called race play. Does any of y'all know what race play is? I actually told Kelly what it was. Like, what the fuck is that?
You were telling me the topic last night. You told me the topic last night, and I said, "What the hell?" You sent me that definition, and I said, "Oh hell no!" And that's when I found out that was even a thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, race play is a thing. Bro, do you know what race play is, and have you ever been a part of race play?
I'm not quite sure. I may have.
All right, so race play is basically.
Don't judge me, Kelly. It's a lot of things I've done. I wasn't sure they was called.
Let me look up what I actually sent to
as long as it wasn't gay or dealing with nothing hey.
Oh, so listen. So race play is an avant-garde form of role play used by two consenting adults that incorporates racist, hurtful, and derogatory terms in comments during sexual intercourse.
Well, I can't remember.
I'm so fucking immature. I listen. It's a
so if you had sex with a white woman, you let her call you nigga.
And that's bad.
I know. See,
yo, I'm sorry. I'm immature.
And you called her a
you call her a honky or a cracker or something like that. Yo, I can't. The reason why I found it so funny is because niggas get so up in arms about it and whatnot, and I understand it. But then they get mad. They're like, hold up, man, because they can just keep calling you nigga over and over and over again. They're like, oh, fuck me, you black nigga, and whatnot. No, you can say, shut your white ass up, and whatnot. You can't get at them like that. I'm like, yo, if you're consenting adults and you're race playing, apparently both of you have actually agreed to this fuckery. So I want to understand. Maybe it's me. I find it hilarious. Maybe it's just me. What do y'all think? Please, somebody tell me.
See, here's
a one-word answer to that.
What's that?
No.
So what if a guy, white, you would mess with a white guy, he wanted you to race play?
First of all.
No, but not calling you, not saying nigga or nothing like that to you. You doing all the race play to him.
No, because he gonna slip. He gonna slip. Except, well, I'll let you call me this, that, and the third.
Right.
No. See, what happens is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can't dish it out, you can't take it. I'm not going to dish it out because I know I can't take it. Matter of fact, we talked about this on my the episode that Tiff and I made our first appearance on.
Okay.
That I probably couldn't even deal with dating a white dude because I still think, I don't care how far removed we are from slavery, which we're really not that far removed from slavery, that they have some kind of, desire. Like we're still some kind of exotic to them. So they want to be with us for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't that interested. I'm not.
No, yo, that bring a. It made me bring. It made me
be able to call him a cracker without having nigga thrown back in my face.
So that's what he said.
If I'm having sex with him, then there's a chance that nigga could be thrown in my face. But if I'm just walking down the street and I see dude, and in my head I said that's a corny ass cracker, then it's no harm, no foul. That's in my head. It didn't come out.
But what it is, okay, so listen though, Kelly, with race play, these people are, like I said, it's consenting. So what they're doing is they're essentially talking to each other in this way. You know what I'm saying? If it's, if it's a white guy and he's got a black girl, she wants
or he
him
got
to
a
call
Spanish
her a
chick
nigger
and he
bitch.
want to call her a stick. No.
But that's what I'm saying. She wants. All right, if it's a white woman with a black, with a white, if it's out there, like if this white woman is saying this, she's like, she'll say something like, "Give me your black nigger cock," and he'll say, "I'm going to fuck that cracker pussy" or something like that. This is what's going on. Like this is what race play is about.
Listen. We've already had this talk. I can't remember which episode it was. Remember, I told the story from Jamaica when I first met the white couple.
Yeah.
The rich white couple. And no, she didn't call me nigga.
But she said she wanted that black cock.
No. Actually, this was the dialogue. This was the funny dialogue, and this is the crazy shit with her husband. Remember, her husband was in the bed while this shit was going on. You know what I mean? Oh, you like this white pussy? You like this white pussy? Bitch, you like this black dick? I mean,
she said it and you said it. But
so that's still race play. That's play. That's race play.
No, read
it's
your
not
definition.
Extreme race play, but it is a little
definition. The other person
it doesn't say the other person.
Nah, what word do you have to say? You have to say nigger in race play?
No, but she didn't say she wanted that black cock. He said it.
She said, "Do you like this white pussy?" So my response was, "Are you loving this black dick?"
Right, but did
you say you loving this black dick?
But did you say I love this Wayne Boone?
Hell no.
Okay, then.
That shit was good though. It was definitely good, but
that was a race play.
Okay, so what if you start saying stereotypes of your own self? A stereotype of your own
That's what I'm going to say. I
have your own race though. What if you like all right, listen. What if you fucking it and you be like this?
Your definition says
you'll say something like you like this black dick or whatnot. I ain't never on time, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fucking. I gotta.
Your definition.
Always come. That's how.
Nasty fucking. You know what I'm saying? You like how to.
Hold on. No, bitch. You know I always come late. Now I'm a real nigga.
You like this drug?
I ain't no quick nigga.
Your definition, the definition that you sent, says role play used by two consenting adults that incorporates racist, hurtful, and derogatory terms and comments regarding the others. The others.
Oh, okay. So the
okay. So when I fuck this fat white girl, right? I'm sorry. So when I fuck this fat white girl, right?
Right.
And I said, yeah, I mean, my have ass squealing like Porky Pig. Was that? What was that?
I think that was racial. I think that was insulting. He was insulting.
No, she loved it. She was, big girl. I mean, she was shapely with it. But I mean, but if when you fucking,
if you're insulting yourself, if you're insulting yourself with the situation, right? How is it not race play? Like
I was in my 20s. The fuck, I said some disrespectful shit.
Listen. If you was fucking that fat white girl and she say something like. She's like, oh, you like fucking Karen, huh? You like fucking Karen. Fuck me harder, I'll report your ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking.
I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm out. I got to go. Dick got soft and everything. Fuck that. Then slid socks back straight, slid back his niggas pants up.
Yo.
They out.
But I think it's race play if you're insulting yourself though, and I really do think
I've made negative comment. I've had Spanish chicks. From
the definition.
Right.
When the other person says something derogatory about you, or you say something derogatory race-wise about them, then that's race play. But if she says you like this white stuff and you don't respond saying I like that white stuff, then it's not race play. It's only race play if you say I like that white stuff.
All right. So same thing. When I had Spanish chicks say, yo, you like this Puerto Rican pussy? Yeah, I like this punani. I like that. So me agreeing.
But you didn't say it.
No, I mean at times I did say it. At times I did say it. I've had a lot of Spanish girls. I had my share. I've had some white girls too. Shit, I've had most races.
So have you ever done race play, nigga? I'm asking.
I've talked shit about them while I was fucking them. Yes, and some of them like that.
Have you ever
No one has ever called me a nigga.
And
correction. Wrong. Spanish joint.
Oh, that's different. They can do
Spanish joint.
They can do that.
That's different. But it's different races, so that should be considered race play.
Damn.
But she Afro. I call her all kind of Spanish shits during that session.
Did you wait a minute?
I mean, I was like that Peruvian man. You definitely from South America. That was old Peruvian pussy. I mean, I was,
Spanish shits though.
Dude, I don't think the shit up. It just comes out.
Did you say Peruvian pussy?
Yes.
No, that's so. I know you had to get that off. You had to get that off because when are you ever going to be able to say the two words Peruvian pussy again while you're having sex with a Peruvian girl? Yeah, that's gangster. Yeah, that's gangster. I get that one to you.
I remember that line.
You thumb up for that one. That was actually great. Way to maneuver in the paint, my nigga. 12-footer off the backboard. Good.
Listen.
So all right. So me personally,
I've never had a white person call me nigger, but
that's also so. All right.
I had Spanish on, yes.
I said that. I was saying that what I kind of lead forward with kinks. Most kinks are kinks are disrespectful in many ways.
It can't be because it's a dominate. It's kind of like a domination thing,
right? Does anybody here have a kink that they would put up there with race play? That they would be like, yo, I'm not fucking with
me. My albino midget stripper I'm looking for.
I don't see your kink. You actually got that's like a midget kink and
albino
kink. That's weird. I don't know. I'm just saying like race play.
It's like a fucking unicorn.
Yeah.
Kelly just went off the video. She's like, fuck no, I can't deal with y'all right now.
No, because I'm trying to understand. So like, all right, so race play for everybody is in a negative bag. Is there any other kink that you know of that you say, you know what, that's going right in that bag with that race play?
I mean, listen, as long as it's not a white person, if it's Spanish.
No. I'm not talking about forget race play. I'm just talking about, is there any other kink that you have that you can say, you know what? This is like, just say that you thought it was all the way bad. If you felt the way that Kelly felt about race play, you like, I ain't dealing with none of that shit. Is there any other kink, any other nasty, kinky thing that people do out there, you know what I'm saying, that you would say, you know what, I ain't doing that either, and I put it in the same box as that?
Bestiality?
Bestialities are definite. That's in the same box. What else?
Underage shit? What the fuck?
Oh, nigga, ew. No, that's illegal. I said no, we're not talking about illegal shit.
So
that's just
legal shit.
Yeah, illegal. We ain't talking about illegal. Really.
I'm not.
What about scat play?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm not with those shit. I'm not with the shits. I'm not with the pisses or shits. I'm not with the pisses or the shits.
No, the pisses or the shits.
And I don't give a fuck what y'all. Some people keep trying to say I do not believe squirting is piss.
Oh my God, are we still on this?
We're not gonna argue that. We're not gonna argue. I feel how I feel.
Oh no, like I said, I've heard different claims.
People said, listen, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard different claims, but that's either here or there.
No homo have had on my face, you know.
All right,
I'm not in this conversation.
Yes, you are. Because I asked you a question. You've been ignoring it the whole time.
Trying to dip it.
I said no, and I kept it pressing.
But that's what I'm saying. There's no. There's not a kink. Is there another kink that you got to name the kink that you?
Well, I don't know any kinks. I'm so jaded in my life. I'm so,
All right. So what about?
I'm such a good girl.
Hey, if she got struck down by lightning,
fuck out of here,
if
Kelly.
she got struck down by Thor's lightning real quick,
I know.
It's not even raining
out of here. Oh, Jesus.
That's why she got that bath curtain up.
Exactly. So the lightning don't come through the fucking window.
The window is wide open. You can see the blinds right there.
Exactly. Right there. So you might want to close that window. Thor's hand gonna reach through and snatch your ass to the heavens and whatnot. But that bullshit you talking. But so no, but that's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
certain pain play is like it's
like if you list out some crazy kinks, and I'm like, yep, nope.
What
nope,
about autoerotic asphyxiation?
No, hell no.
Or just asphyxiation at all? No asphyxiation.
See what it depends on it. If it's hands, because I've had women who love that, and some women who that's how they get off.
Yeah, I've been choked.
Have I been choked?
Yeah.
They were tempted to.
Yeah.
They were tempted to. No, I actually had one all head, and I looked her square in the eyes, and I just grabbed the windpipe. Said, "If you can get your motherfucking hands off my neck."
All right.
She kept trying shit too. That's the same one who tried to
What about BDSM? Kelly.
I'm so
BDSM. You can't not pay attention on the podcast. How the fuck you doing?
I'm paying attention. I have to break down the letters. I know the B is for bondage.
Yeah. So that's all it is. It's the bondage. It's the whipping. It's the master slave thing.
That part, no. I could probably deal with the bondage, but I can't deal with the whipping and no. The rest of it.
So what part of the bondage is it? What like is it like?
But see, some of the whipping
and gags. Oh, okay. So just the rope part is cool, but the rest of it is not like. But wait a minute. That also goes. So, what would you not be like? Okay, would you not be in command of somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to be in command?
Yeah, she's Leo.
Oh, you would want to be the submissive. You want to be the sub.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really think I think if she had the right person, she really would. You see how she starts? She would really like BDS. I mean, yeah.
So all right, so basically, anything else is like because anything else it's like a lot of like weird shit, like you know what I'm saying, like eyeball licking and shit
Plant
like that.
play.
Like you know what I'm saying.
Fisting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about fisting?
No, buddy.
Fisting,
Keep your fist to yourself.
Fisting is fucking crazy, man. But I honestly,
you get.
I've seen stills of it, and I'm just like,
I've seen it live.
I've seen it live too.
I've seen it live.
Like
I ever told you the story about the cucumber?
No,
save it for that's your story today. That's your story today. I'm a cucumber. I'm writing it down now.
I heard tell you a story about Carl the cucumber. He's at every party. All right, y'all. So
L had a lot of movies. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, you still up here on that shit. Listen,
that's what she been doing.
Well, no, I'm getting the movies together for our list.
She was doing reconnaissance and whatnot when we was over here talking about scat.
Who else got to come up who I'm forgetting about?
Because there's certain stuff that I don't want to hear. I just no.
But I think that and that's what race play. I guess when you find anything that's offensive, I guess people are just like, you know what?
What about voyeurism?
Too much.
What about voyeurism? Voyagers.
That's actually voyeurism. You mean?
Yeah,
that's actually That's actually.
I could do.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of remember that. That's kind of shit. You know what I'm
saying? I could do.
Yeah, but
I don't want to know who's watching, but you know, it is what it is.
I don't think that's the whole thing. So have y'all ever been in a car without tent?
Yeah.
Did you know that people was watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one was around.
You sure nobody was around?
Positive.
Mm-hmm. Outside of the
car,
where I was. Like outside in public.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. During the daytime.
Oh,
it was late at night for me.
Damn, it's got to be one. That nigga said, "Yeah, in the daytime." Fairmount Park,
front seat,
the Greek. You know what I'm saying? All right, so, but I mean, no, for real, kinks. You know, it's not kink shaming. More power to everybody. I don't think race. I don't think right. I think race play is one of those things that might be for certain ones and not for others. I still think that people get put on a race play later on. Though I think people that wasn't going like if you just talk about race play, that's one thing. But I think that what happens is these people get involved. So when it happens, they do it for the first time and they realize, you know what, this shit ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? And fuck around and be in their bag bag. That's just what I think. But so I had a question. I had a question for y'all. So before we got on the podcast, before we actually started recording, I was telling y'all, you know, I told you that, you know, I live with a Yeti type creature. You know what I'm saying? That's my offspring. You know, this guy is, like I told you, about 6'9", 9'12". You know what I'm saying?
6'9", 12".
You know what I'm saying?
I'm officially done with you.
I told you he's just out here.
I'm going to call him a Yeti. Like, what's up, nephew Yeti?
Like, nigga's crazy. So I come downstairs and I see him. I see him, and we barbecued yesterday. So, you know, there's plenty of food left. You know what I mean? Eat whatever you want to. You know what I mean? You know, we could have a whole nother cookout of is that much food left. So people, see
just
him.
make me a plate. I'll drive by. Just drop it in the car.
Really? When you drive by, you really can't come get some of this fucking food. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that keep me from cooking out today.
Yeah. So that's why we did it yesterday, because we didn't feel like doing it. I knew we had to record today. But I see him, and like I told y'all, he had 2 cheeseburgers on the thing. You know what I'm saying? He put cheese on the burgers and whatnot. It was all melted on the bun and everything. And he had an entire plate of macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga was he's about to put some wings in the microwave. And I came down, I'm like, nigga, what you doing? You ain't gonna eat this. I'm like, nigga, you gonna eat all that? You gonna eat the 2 cheeseburgers? You gonna eat the whole plate of macaroni and cheese and chicken wings and other shit? I'm like, dog, the food ain't going nowhere. It's here. If you want some, you can have some. I said, you can eat all day if you want to. Just stop making 6 plates and sitting down to eat. You know what I'm saying? And eating all the goddamn food. He's like, all right. So he said that he went ahead, he inhaled that. I don't know if he went back for wings or whatever he did, the second, third. The only reason why I say that is that I'm bringing it up as a more serious point. Kelly, you might want to, you know what I mean, tune into this too. You know what I'm saying? As well. Yeah. So basically, when is it a good idea to let your kids learn lessons the hard way?
Right.
As soon as possible.
You think about it.
As soon as possible. As soon as motherfucking possible.
All right. No, but
here's
hit on the lesson.
The hard part to that is letting yourself let them fail.
Absolutely. That's kind of the point that I was getting to.
Because you're going to feel like I'm at that point right now.
Okay.
You feel if your child fails, you failed as a parent. But if you
that's not the case.
That's not the case.
I think mothers feel that way more than fathers.
You are absolutely right.
Right.
Fuck them kids.
Well, I'm at that point.
Fuck them kids.
It's at the point of you have to, especially now that our kids are teens, because our kids are just about the same age, 15, 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We've been there, we've done that, we've survived.
But kids don't listen to shit.
We try to give them the lessons that we learned, but we don't know anything in their eyes. So these times like this, when you have tried everything that you can to get those lessons that you've learned the hard way to them so they don't have to learn it the hard way, this is when you step back and say, learn it for yourself.
You know there's a brick
wall
coming.
When they come back, you don't even have to say, I told you so, because they done already came back. They know you told them so. They know.
First and foremost, these kids.
It's so difficult. Like, I want to say for at least 2 weeks prior to this week, I have been in a self-made depression because of how I've been feeling about my son. And it's just, a couple of people that I speak to on a regular basis just was like, yo, you can't let him or the thought of these things kill you, because you're not going to be able to take care of him if you let yourself, if you let yourself go down this road. You can't let his decisions affect your health.
You can't. You absolutely can't.
You have done what you can do. You have said and tried to get through his head what you can get through. Know that, but the crazy thing is, know that they are listening.
Yeah.
They do hear you. They just don't want to do what you said do.
Or when you said do it. When you said do it. Like, and it happens in the Black community a lot more often as well, too, because for some reason, don't get me wrong, it's a white community as well. It's just for some reason, like your kids take on all your attributes, but it's the worst thing in the world is when they don't. When they just don't know shit. No, right.
I just think it's black for us because we're black.
Right.
If we interacted more with, you know, Caucasian people and their family, then we would know.
Right.
I know that one of my old coworkers, she had 3 kids, 2 daughters, 1 son.
Right.
And I remember her, one daughter just wanted to do the opposite of everything her mother wanted her to do.
Yeah.
And then when she got out of high school, she was supposed to go to nursing school.
Right.
But then she turned around and got pregnant. And then after she got pregnant, she realized she got a mouth to feed. And then she went back to nursing school. And it's just like, you're doing this shit backwards, fuck ass, crazy. Yeah. When I told you all you had to do is this and this and this. So like I've been telling my son.
Right. Since after high school, is that when we let them take the proverbial dive if that's what they choose to?
Oh yeah.
Because my thing is that when I look at it like this, and I know,
but I'm trying to let it happen now.
Yeah.
While it's in my house.
Yeah.
And I'm legally responsible.
Right.
Because the moment you turn 18, even though he technically, because his birthday's in October, will still be in high school.
Right.
Even though when you turn 18, you're looked at as legally an adult.
Because he's in his freshman year of high school this year, right?
Right, exactly.
So here's the deal, and I've been talking to people, you know what I mean, like recently that are going through this, and teenagers, and we were like this too, so we can't sit up there and act like we weren't and whatnot.
I knew everything.
You were in a rush to get old. You were in a fucking rush. You want to be this person. You want to be the grown one. But you
wasn't.
Well, you was the daddy's girl. You was the daddy's girl or whatnot. You were only child as well, so it's different.
But I want to say, I remember having this conversation in my senior year in high school, in my English class. Right. And they said, I remember the question from my English teacher asking, was high school real life? I'm like, hell no.
Right.
No, it's not real life. No, I was like, my parents, I don't have any bills in my name.
Right.
I don't have to pay any rent. I have a car I don't have to pay for. I don't have to put gas in it. My dad puts gas in nothing I do. I was like, my mom buys my clothes. I was like, there's nothing real life about high school.
Right.
When I got to college, because, you know, mostly everything was taken care of either by financial aid, by my parents. You know, do you need
things just have to
laundry detergent? You know, they sent me money so I can buy stuff to wash my clothes. And
I think it's a little different I think it's different for girls though. And then the reason why I mention that is that because what happens is that we don't boys for some reason. Like, and it's just like it is. The double standard is like that in life. The double standards happen very, very early. All you got to do is keep your son from the streets and from knocking some chick up, you know what I'm saying, before he's out of high school, and you've succeeded. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. You know what I'm saying? Your daughters, on the other hand, and whatnot, you got to keep her off the pole, keep her from hoeing, keep her from, you know what I'm saying, from hanging around little dirty dick little niggas. You keep her from getting pregnant. Keep her from getting an STD or whatnot, all that other shit you have to steer, because and I think that a lot of it instills this instills a double standard that we have that we don't even recognize.
It's a tighter protection bubble with the girls.
It is, because we always treated females as if you know how when we say something about but we equal, like we're playing on the equal playing field when we say that women are equal to men, and we call it, but nothing that we do ever put someone on that same plane. And the reason why is that I'm a point blank example. You know what I'm saying? Everything is catered to coddle to a female's you know what I'm saying, emotions.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the problem with it is that that's not an equal playing field.
And we talked about that when we talked about weddings, is the children, boys and girls
exactly.
have a whole different thing.
And
Girls
that starts
dream
when you're
about
young.
a wedding and a wedding dress and playing with Barbies and Barbie and Ken and all that. But then you give boys trucks and army fatigues and all this, and you're not raising them to learn how to interact with each other at all.
But then, and then
you're not even giving them the same kind of basic goal of having a successful situation, whether they grow up to be gay or straight, to be in a successful relationship, period.
Right. But it also contorts itself to an endless cycle, especially in the communities that we know, of early pregnancy and the grandmama taking care of the fucking babies, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that.
Yeah.
So what happens is that
ain't nobody got time for that.
People get mad at me when I say shit like we need to stop the fucking cycle or whatnot by saying, yo, you girls have to make smarter decisions. Like if you get pregnant, yo, stop thinking with this fucking outlandish emotion. If you fuck up, you might want to think about maybe not having that baby because you can't take care of that baby, or giving the baby up for adoption. But for some reason we struggle because we know better. You know better, you do better. What happens is that we learn better, and all of a sudden we have this emotional thing to take over, and they lend itself more to females because, you know what I'm saying, it's a more emotional thought about it. That's why niggas, don't you notice that every nigga that's in the draft about to make millions of dollars or whatnot already got a baby mom? He was still able to go to fucking college and still able to make shit pop, and now he's about to get paid. You know what I'm saying? I don't see WNBA draft with girls with kids already.
Mom.
You understand? Did you hear what
I just said? Basketball.
What I just said? But you hear what I just said?
Baby, daddy's maybe.
But Kelly, did you hear what I just said? Yeah. I don't see anybody in the WNBA draft that is already have kids. Because that's how we go for young ladies.
Love and basketball.
No, she was already in the league, my nigga.
She was married at that time.
She was already married. That was at the end. They already had the little baby. She was in the league.
And this wasn't like she was coming from college. She had graduated college.
She was grown ass woman. And see, that's what I'm talking about. So all in all, all right. So now that we've drawn that line in the sand, so look at it like this: is there a difference into which that we need to start letting the falling happen? For the boys, can we say, you know what I mean, can we keep a shorter leash or a longer leash and say, look, nigga, just don't do nothing stupid, and when you get out of here, you can do whatever the fuck you want to. With the girls, do we say, look, we got to mold you to make sure, because but what does that go to say about a female's train of thought, though?
Taken care of.
I want to say
she gets accustomed to being taken care of.
Okay.
And expects her mate to basically take care of her. That's how society has trained things to be.
Okay. Okay, so elaborate. No, you want to say.
That's exactly how the fact of, we, again, I don't even want to go into the fact of when the Ken doll actually came into play. How many years Barbie was around first. But yes, the difference with the toys. I think one of the oldest sets of toys that we both boys and girls were playing with, you might want to say might have been Jacks. Remember those?
Okay. Right. Remember Jacks? Yeah.
Those was one of those games. The hand paddles was another one of those little, but it got to the point that these are the boys' toys, the Army figures, the Thundercats, the G.I. Joes, the Smurfs. You really just had the boys playing it. Those wasn't really considered a girl's toy either.
Okay.
But it was, the girls were groomed to be the princesses.
I was in a Transformers club in 4th grade.
Oh shit!
I was the only girl.
And I was about to say, how many other females was in there?
I was the only girl.
Okay. We go continue going forth. It's besides the Barbie, it was always the princess, the Ariel, the Snow White. Those were the family movies geared towards the women.
Okay.
So the women they had this Prince Charming, or this prince was going to rescue them and take care of them. With the, I don't even want to say 70s, more the 80s into 90s, now the women's empowerment movement. Now they're pushing for equality, and I don't knock that.
Right.
But to push with that at home, the women need to have to be started to get taught how to become more independent.
Right. Okay. I like this. All right. So let me two scenarios. All right, two scenarios, and we'll move on. You got a 17-year-old girl who's about to graduate from high school, and her friends are throwing a hotel party.
Nope.
And she want to go. She's already done. She's ready to go to college or whatnot, but she's still living in your house. She's not 18 yet, but she's on her way to college at the end of the summer. Do you let her go to this hotel party?
What adult supervision is gonna be there?
None.
Nope.
or let's just say the adult supervision will be minimal. So it's just like one of them.
Do I know him? Do I know him?
You do know him.
If I know him,
right,
or mom knows him,
yeah,
and I know it's going to be adult supervision.
But the supervision is not going to be there the whole time. Supervision is going to be the check in and check out type of back. It's not going to be there the whole time.
But she's not staying the night.
And hotel parties with older people too, over the people that is older than her. Like maybe if she's 17 or older, they're like 19, 18.
If I'll say in my prime example with Jada, who's 16 next year, she'll be 17 in a couple months.
Right.
If it was her, now if Eric or Deshelle, her older two brothers or sisters, were going to possibly be there, yes.
Okay. But if it was something for the team, DSC, right.
Yes.
Okay.
If not, if it was somebody, even if I knew the supervision.
Let's just say a high school, a close friend. Let's just say a close friend, or let's say a cousin. Let's say a cousin that was a year and a half older.
Depends on which cousin.
There you go. Ding ding. All right, Kelly, what you think? That's a no?
No. Yeah, no.
That's a hell no?
No.
All the way around?
No.
Okay. And that's and we talk about girls. Okay. So that all right. For me, that would be a strong no. It would be a strong no. It would be a strong no because of the fact that it's already a situation and whatnot. Did you know that's a breeding ground for liquor and you know what I mean?
That's a breeding ground for the day before he go off to college.
Right.
Chicks show up talking about I'm pregnant. That's what is a breeding ground.
No. So you already wait a minute. You already interpreted. See, I said girls first. So all right, so we gonna move to the boys. You already put your son in that.
We say because Kels.
I got son. I ain't got no daughter.
No, but.
But I was asking. That's why
he was asking first.
I asked the girls if you had a daughter first.
But I understand.
First of all, no matter what child I hate, they won't go into that party.
Okay. So that's okay. So now we talking about boys. Boys, 17, on his way to college. Asked to go to the party. Can I be quite honest with you?
Yes.
I have a son that'll be 17 in 6 months.
You with it? It depends on.
Here's the kicker.
That's because we're men. That's because we're men.
Right.
That's because we're men.
He can go. The reason why
there's a 50% probability that my child would probably end up at that party.
Right.
Because I know him.
Without your permission anyway.
But
right.
Sounds like me.
But I didn't give him my permission for him to be there. And I warned him not to go there because it's a breeding ground for heifers.
So all right, so you in between. What if you said no and he decided to go anyway? This is a girl or boy. What if you said no and the move is going to be made with or without the consent from you? I'm almost 18. I'm done college. I'm done high school. I'm done high school. I'm ready to go. And you're not gonna keep me from doing this, that, and the third. I'm out of your house in 3 months. And to be honest,
be out my house now.
It's not.
Be out my house now. Then. Be out my house now.
Yeah, I could dig.
You might want to go
I could
chill at your dad's house until.
Yeah, because if I said no, because if it was my daughter and I said no and she snuck out, yeah, you can keep your ass outside.
See, here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? You keep your ass outside.
Understand. I know somebody that can change my life.
In my relationship, I can say no.
Right.
But mama mess around and say yeah.
See, and that's all right. See, now that you talk about a whole different topic.
So then I'm just gonna be pissed off.
Yeah. You'll just be pissed off because at the end of the day, if you're talking about, if you got to.
And then if something happened, of course, then I'm gonna have to supposed to be.
You the one,
dad.
Right. You got to turn into Terminator and shit. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. And that's what it is.
And there is the difference because in your homes, there's two.
Right. Understandable. Yeah. No. We get. Trust me. Understand.
And you come from.
Right.
You come from. So you know.
I come from. Well, see, I come from a single mom. I come from a single mom
as well.
So y'all come from what I'm dealing with.
And so 17, I ain't gonna hold 17. I was already I was already dancing. My mom didn't know about that. I was at the college parties regularly. Like all of the college parties.
I had my own car. Like Kelly, listen, and this is the one thing that I
had mine at 17. I had a car at 17.
And Father's Day's coming up soon. We got to get that's why we got to get back in the studio because we want to get that Father's Day show set up. So the one thing that I want to say is that about that is what I did in order to have my independence earlier. First and foremost, my mom wouldn't have gave me that type of smoke because I was a good kid and I stayed out of the way. Anything that I got when I wanted on my own, I went ahead and got it. You wasn't going to worry. You didn't worry about, you know what I'm saying, getting a late night call, hearing about me fighting or doing some dumb shit, getting arrested or nothing like that. No, I was out of the way. So what happens is that I can do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. My senior year in high school, I'm taking that car and I'm not coming. I'm at that Airbnb and I'm not at that hotel or whatever. And I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? And I'll call and let her know, like, look, man, I'll let you in the morning. Or I'm going straight to work after I leave this. Because that's the one thing that I was doing. I was working too. So if you do shit the right way, you stay out of the way. You know what I'm saying? But the problem with these kids is they don't know how to stay the fuck out of the way. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to stay out of the way. Like no, you draw so much.
I've been telling my son since he was at least 7. Right. I don't even want to say 8. I want to say 7.
Right.
That if you just listen to what I am telling you, your life would be golden.
So much easier.
So much
smoother.
I was like, I specifically take lessons from not just what I've learned being hard-headed myself, but from what other people do. I remember a girlfriend of mine I used to work with, like right after I got out of college. I remember when she broke her toe.
Right.
She was moving in the house. She was boxing up stuff. She was moving, and she hit her pinky toe.
Right.
Right there between that pinky toe and that toe next to the pinky toe, in the door jamb.
Ooh. Shit.
I specifically, to this day, it is now 2020. That had to be 2002.
Yeah.
Make sure that I have some kind of foot covering.
Yeah.
On my feet, whether it's thick socks, the socks with the grips, slides, sandals, whatever it is.
Yep.
Because I don't want to take that chance.
Yep.
And break my toe because we were supposed to go on a tour. We were taking our students on a tour of a convention center. This is when I was teaching.
Right.
And she just thought she like sprained it or whatever. And she basically went through the tour. And she sat on the side while we did the tour. Her mom was a nurse, and her mom was like, "It sounds like it's broken. You need to get to the hospital."
Right.
She had to go. She walked around all day on a broken foot. She had to get like the whole boot and everything, cast boot, all that together. I make sure off of just knowing how she accidentally broke her pinky toe, like the pain and the agony that she was in. I make sure that my foot is covered when I'm in the house.
Hard head.
Probably the only time, right?
Hard head make a soft ass.
But it wasn't her head that got bust.
Yeah, listen, hard head make like at the end of the day, all in all, we can move on after this. To be honest with you, it sucks because there is like I said, there is a double standard when it comes to to the boys and the girls, but to be honest with you, we really do have to learn to let these kids are going too far. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we gotta let them, because the more you try to hold them up, the more they resent you. They resent you for trying to hold them up.
And
look at the ones that
expect you to always hold them up.
Yep. Or they start wilding out when you finally do let them go.
Going through that.
Going through that presently. It's some things I wish that I was allowed to fail in.
God, I love that. I love that. You know what? We can end that situation right there and move straight into this.
And I got information to go with it. It's coming in and out. It's coming in and out for me.
Don't worry about it. It's picking up over there.
Okay.
Whatever means purchase. Even if you bootleg this joint, I appreciate you. We 4 projects in, a whole lot more to go.
31 episodes in.
Right now, with your narrative.
Fucking 32.
What you may have heard. I am top 5 dead or alive. Yeah.
Let's go.
So today.
It's a very interesting top 5.
Please let us know. Yeah, we came up with a little bit of a different format today. Tell us what it is, Kelly, and then I can tell everybody the way we're going to maneuver.
All right.
What's the top 5 today?
So top 5 today. Top 5 rappers turned actors.
Rappers turned actors.
However, we combined our list into one grand list.
Mm-hmm. They were so similar.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, you always want to be eclectic. You had some of the same people on there.
I had one.
Most stuff. We knew them too.
We listened to their music.
I hate you.
Right. You had LL on your list. I didn't have LL on my list. The only person we had similar on our list was Will Smith. I didn't have the other people. But anyway, we came up with a grand scheme of rappers turned actors, and I was making a list of some of the movies and some of the big names that they actually, started with.
So in no particular order, because I didn't have a particular order to this.
No, we don't need
a particular order. So we'll start with Pac, because he had the shortest career.
Yes. I mean, due to no fault of his own and whatnot.
Even with that, he still had 4 or 5 movies.
He had more than that.
Huh?
He really had more than that.
Yeah, more than that.
Like I have 4 on my 5 on my list right now, but there were more than that, because he had Above the Rim.
Above the Rim, that's
Above
5.
The Rim, Poetic Justice, Gang Related,
Gridlock.
I think
Juice,
that given
that's 5.
had he been given the opportunity to live, continue what he was doing, his movie career probably would have been second to none, because I'm looking at just 3 of the movies outside of Juice with Janet Jackson. I mean, out of Poetic Justice with Janet Jackson and Juice that just showed him go from 1 to 100 real quick. He went that shit crazy. When you look at the other movies that he starred in, he did Bullet with Mickey Rourke.
That was the one, Bullet. Yeah,
He did Gridlock with Tim Roth. And then he did Gang Related with Jim Belushi.
They were really into the caliber, making him the black gangster lead, the black lead. No, he was a cop. He was a cop in Gang Related. So
he was a.
They were looking to put him.
Drug addict.
Right. They were looking to put him next to the white protagonist as well. They were looking to make him, kind of that guy, like the, need I say like the token black guy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In movies, hey, shit, why not? I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that was kind of.
It was what it was, yeah.
Well,
but no, I mean, they had like 2 movies about him, which it was like in relation to Death Row Records. but the rest was Bullet, Gridlock, Gang Related, Above the Rim, Juice, and Poetic Justice. And then they had one, Tupac Resurrection, which was, you know, after the case. And then he had a cameo in Nothing But Trouble. But just looking at the caliber of actors that he was dealing with when he made movies, I could just see where his career as far as acting would have gone, because he was straight able to hold his own with these actors. Right.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Pac, man. Rest in peace to Pac. Yeah, rest in peace.
My favorite rapper of all times.
You say Pac too.
Pac. Pac.
All right. Ice Cube.
Yes.
Cube.
Ice
Vision.
Cube.
Yeah.
Cube Vision.
Right.
I like where his career has gone. He went from playing what the role we expected him to play, like in Boys in the Hood. But then he's gone on to.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
Right. But
Barbershop.
his career, as he's grown as a man, a father, and a businessman.
And now his son.
His characters have grown as men, as fathers, as businessmen. You see him in Barbershop, from his wife being pregnant to him fighting for his son's life, you know, trying not to have him involved in gangs.
Remember he played in Triple X?
Yeah, Triple X. State of the Union. State of the Union.
Hilarious. It was hilarious.
Remember Ghost of Mars? Remember that shit?
Ghost of Mars.
Covered
I love Ghost of Mars. But what I like about the horror movies that Cube does, he's always live at the end.
Wasn't he in the Anaconda?
He was in the Anaconda. Yeah. Get off the boat.
And Jennifer
he said,
Lopez.
Get back on the boat. That is.
So for Ice Cube, I have Are We There Yet?
Right.
Shows him as, you know, the stepfather coming in, not wanting to deal with this, and then ultimately loving the kids, loving the mom. We move on. They get married, buy a house, whatever. We got him doing his comedy thing in Friday, which was, he said, the first screenplay he ever wrote.
He wrote it.
Well, no, let's not take away from DJ Pooh. DJ co-wrote it with DJ Pooh.
He co-wrote with DJ Pooh, but we're not talking about him right now.
Yeah.
Then we have him in Anaconda. I mean, and there's different levels. We had Boys in the Hood. What's the other one? Higher Learning.
Higher Learning.
And then we have him in Anaconda. And then we have, you know, Barbershop. I think one of my favorite, Triple X. He's, you know, he's doing comedy. He's doing thug life stuff. He's doing family stuff for movies that everyone can go see. And then we have him in Fist Fight.
Oh,
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, and it's just like,
hold up.
Is that really
Ride Along?
And Ride Along.
We forget about Ride Along 1 and 2.
Or the old man and lottery ticket.
Old lottery ticket,
yeah. No, he has, you know, his career.
He has a nice body of work, and it's not.
I might almost put him as number one.
It's not all the same.
Right.
You know, all the same. You have Family Cube. You have Thug Life Cube. You have someone bringing wisdom.
Yeah, because he has that game show. He got the game show going on. He had the TV.
Yes.
He has the game show going on.
And also, you can't forget the big three. That's just
hell yeah, the big three.
That's just the whole that's a whole another thing. Yeah. He's very multifaceted, man. He really did a good job with branching out and making himself
for a brother from the hood, from Compton, not expected to make it. You know, to start writing for himself, and then pretty much for majority of NWA, got them started. You know what I mean, to progress and like
you can follow.
Shout out to Q.
Cube is that dude, man.
Keith is gonna be the next Cube.
Oh, see, that's
next Cube. And I say this because of what you said last week, and it's very similar to what his son, who's playing him, says in Straight Outta Compton is the moment you realize you could put words together. Right. And they sounded clever. You knew that was your thing. That's exactly how he started.
Yeah,
he was writing stories. He was writing poetry, whatever. It just happened to go into rap because that was the avenue that was available to him. But it's the same thing.
Did I ever tell you I wrote a screenplay before?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really? All right, I'm gonna give you the what you call it, get a concert. Hold up, say something.
Say something. Oh man, what's he doing?
Go
Flyers! Go Flyers!
He walked away, so he's getting ready to show us something or tell us something.
Is this about to be a promo of the screenplay? Oh shoot! Hey, man, that belly getting bigger again. What's going on?
He's a hater, dog. Nah, I ain't a hater.
You've been eating.
Dog, listen. I juiced all week, but then I had to break the juice.
What juice was you doing?
I juiced all week and then had the But this is my screenplay. This is my screenplay.
Oh,
yeah. I wrote it like 3 years ago. So it's
what's it about? Quickly, brief override.
Brief synopsis of Fear itself. It is about 4 people that actually wake up in a strange room. They have no idea how they got there. Actually, some of them do have an idea how they got there. And the reason why they are there becomes,
I said they have a notion.
Yeah, but it becomes, it's a horror movie / psychological thriller. Because afterward, it becomes very, very evident the reason why they're there. One of them is not who they seem to be, and it takes a trip down. Matter of fact, I don't want nobody stealing my ideas. You gotta listen. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you can't.
Right. But what I could do is that once we stop recording, I'll let you know exactly what it's about.
Okay, cool.
I mean, yeah.
Awesome.
So, who you got? The third person on your list.
Third person on the list is Will Smith. I'm saving these last 2 for a specific reason.
Okay.
So the next one on the list is Will Smith. So we go from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where you can watch him on the first episode saying his lines, and when the next person is saying their lines, he's still lip syncing their lines because he memorized the whole script.
Oh, okay.
So we go from that to Men in Black 1, 2, and 3, Ali, I Am Legend, Independence Day, Pursuit of Happiness. What's the son? I forgot.
Hancock.
He's a superhero in Hancock. He's a cop in
a drunk ass.
He's in Pursuit of Happiness with his son.
That is one of the.
Hold on, what's the other movie that he did with Jaden? The Outer Space.
After Earth, which becomes almost just like I Am Legend. It becomes all Jaden.
So
that's putting your child on that.
Should have been called After Ass. That movie was trash. I didn't like that at all. That was After Ass. I ain't like that.
I did see it, but
I like Jaden the Karate Kid though.
Yeah, he was perfect in the Karate Kid. He was perfect. But
Will Smith is just one of the most successful actors ever. So it's just there's just a different accord when it comes down to it.
And he's from the EA area.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, I mean, and Bad Boys. Let's not forget about Bad Boys.
And I mean, to me, it's just like I think that
Mike Lowry. Everybody wants to be Mike Lowry.
But it was like a perfect, like for him coming out in a semi-serious role, to break away from the Fresh Prince a little bit. Yeah. I think that was a perfect intro role. And then he's just, I mean, no, they're getting ready to make a Bad Boys 4. So
yeah, they already about to make a Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, is already on the list already. So just, to watch the transformation of Mike Lowry from the 90s to senior agent or whatever he is, they're called now.
Is he the only one on this list that might be more known for acting than rap? Because to me, to be honest with you, I think Will Smith, the actor, was who I think of before I even think of the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't know. I don't know better. It's just that
not. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's done more acting.
My mom, it's funny. My mom's ex-boyfriend was his original manager.
Oh, wow.
That's how old I am. It was my mom's ex-boyfriend was his original manager. He's the one that put his demo together.
He had a movie, Collateral Beauty. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one. Collateral Beauty.
I have seen it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have seen it.
It's a hard
care about Enemy of the State.
What about 7
Enemy of the State,
pounds?
yes.
7 pounds.
7 pounds was
I never
also
saw 7 pounds. I wanted to see.
You've never
7
seen
pounds.
7 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ali, we can't forget Ali.
You said Ali, but of course that was probably one of the.
Wild West.
One movie I was never going to see was Bagger Vance. I was just never going to do that.
No, you should see that. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. You should see it. The movie Bright, the one they're coming out with a Bright.
It's on Netflix.
It was on Netflix.
I still haven't watched that.
They're coming out with Bright too. It's actually really gritty. It's like a real raw ass movie. Even though like his partners are aliens, it's about aliens. It's a very, you know what it is. What it does is it takes the discrimination that we as Black people and we are essentially
and put it on the alien.
Right, we're the aliens in the movie. So he finds himself profiling. You know what I mean? Being a Black man, like it's the craziest shit ever. You gotta watch. You've seen Bright, right?
I've seen
Bright.
I've seen a couple.
Kelly, did you see it?
A little bit of it, not all of it.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It's a good flick. All right, so we did. Will Smith is just, we already know. So number 2, what you got?
Pick a hand.
Left. I'm left-handed.
Y'all seen Mos Def.
Mos Def is definitely. I didn't think he had the chops like that to be a regular actor until I saw him in 12 Blocks with Bruce Willis.
The kicker for me with Mos Def is when I saw him rapping, I was like, yo, that's the kid off of Cosby Mysteries. When I was introduced to Mos Def, I was introduced to him as an actor.
Oh shit! Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Bill Cosby had a show called Cosby Mysteries.
I remember that. Yeah,
and it was him and Rita Moreno was I guess his neighbor or a friend of his, a good friend of his or something.
Right.
And Mos Def was this kid that always hung around him, so he was running errands for him while he was solving these mysteries. So the first time I ever saw Mos Def was as an actor.
Oh shit.
So when I saw him rapping, I was like, yo, that's the kid off of Cosby Mysteries.
So the bodies of work that stand out to you the most or whatnot, because we know you like to go eclectic with everything and whatnot.
Right.
To have him on this list, because some people don't even know him as a rapper, because remember, he was signed with Rawkus, and a lot of the music that he put out wasn't commercialized. So
Vibrant might have been one of his biggest. Vibrant and Breathing Stop was probably his biggest 2 chart hits.
That's Q-Tip.
I'm sorry, I did say
Q-Tip. Yeah.
I'm like, did he write that for Q-Tip?
Oh man.
So for me, definitely Cosby Mysteries, because that was my intro to Mos Def. But when you look at his body of work, it's just.
But that's what I'm saying. So what
it's not regular stuff. He had a movie that he did. Oh my God, Alan Rickman. That's his name. He played in Harry Potter.
Oh, come on. Hans Gruber. I know who Alan Rickman is. Come on, let's keep this moving. Let's get this moving.
He played co-star. He played co-star to Alan Rickman in Something the Lord Made, HBO movie.
Okay, I think I didn't see the whole thing, but I think I saw something. He played someone a Black man in late 40s, early 50s, I believe, that actually created something for the heart.
I know
This movie came out mid-90s. I might have still been in high school. That's how early in the 90s this came out. 16 Blocks.
I said 12. I said, why did I keep saying 12 blocks? It's 16 blocks. You're absolutely
16 blocks with Bruce Willis.
Well, that was my
Italian Job.
Loved it.
Loved it.
No, yeah.
Be Kind. He made a movie. Be Kind, Rewind. Yes.
Rewind.
Craziness.
Jack Black. Yeah.
He made a movie. I just happened upon this movie about a week or so ago called Life of Crime, and he's listed in it as Yasin Bey. So I'm like, wait a minute, when is this movie made? Because where has he been? This movie was made in 2013. Jennifer Aniston was in it. I can't think of the other guy, but it was a couple of Life of Crime. Life of Crime. He plays a kidnapper. Like, it's 3 people. It's a trio of kidnappers, and they kidnap this woman and try to hoodwink the husband for some money. But the husband would, yes.
Okay.
But it was like comedy suspense. basically.
Okay.
And they were trying to get the money from the husband, but then they found out the husband was leaving her for the mistress.
Oh, okay.
So it's a whole. It's just like 9 million stories wrapped up into one, and at the end,
right. So what? All right. So let me ask you a question.
Cadillac Records.
All right, Cadillac Records, of course. He played
because he was perfect.
He played
for Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, yeah. But
he
see, all right.
Perfect
so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. All right, everybody else that we mentioned on this list, basically star role besides Pac, who was cut down early in his career. Everybody else has had this established, you know what I mean, just surgeons as an actor. So you know what I mean, they're leading roles. They, you know what I mean, you know who they are.
Most Def wouldn't usually be considered the most.
Right. So that's what I'm asking. What made you bring him to the forefront besides the fact that your eclecticness, you know, did that? I really want to know. Besides that, what
the roles that he plays, the roles that the selection of roles that he plays are so eclectic. Right. They're not just, you know, they're not a role for outside of Something the Lord Made and a couple of movies that he did. You know, he did Carmen Jones or whatever.
Right.
But these movies, the roles that he's played
are not the typical black rapper.
Could actually been played by any actor, white, black, Puerto Rican.
That is true. I agree with that. Okay.
He goes for the role.
All right. So that sums up what we were That sums up my question. All right. So number one, who you got?
Queen Latifah. And she just incorporates. First of all, she's the only one that's been nominated for an Oscar. We got to give her that.
That's true.
Will didn't get nominated for Ali?
No.
He did.
Yes, he did. He got nominated for Ali. What are you talking about?
He was nominated in the same category as Denzel for Training Day.
Right, and Denzel got it for Training Day, but Denzel really didn't get it for Training Day. He got it for everything he ever did.
Yeah. And everybody said that if he wasn't in that category with Will would have got it for Ali.
Right, and that's the last time he was nominated.
Yeah.
So
good call on that, bro. Yeah, because I missed that, but he definitely
really I mean, listen, you can't knock my man like that.
Like, I know Will got nominated.
Come on, 25.
Hold up. And one of the first times we seen Queen on TV was in what? The Fresh Prince.
That was the first time we saw her.
She was on there twice.
That's it. The
first two different roles.
Yeah. But that was the first time. Yeah, played two different roles. Yeah.
And so she did Just Right with Common. She did Barbershop and 22 Jump Street with Ice Cube.
Yes.
She played Ice Cube's wife.
Okay.
At 22 Jump Street. She did Last Holiday with LL.
Remember that?
Of course, we got to mention Set It Off.
Of course, Cleo.
But then she goes to that next level. She made a movie called Mad Money.
Remember that with Diane Keaton?
Right. Yep. She did Bring It Down the House with Steve Martin.
Remember that? That was early. Bringing Down the House was one of her earlier feature films. Yeah. Steve Martin gave it a shot. Yep. What else?
Now, actually, it wasn't really one of her earlier. It was mid. It was
that was one of her earlier, because Bringing Down the House was in the mid-90s. One of her earliest
was Jungle Fever.
Yeah. But
look at the dates on those.
So we're going to do that, and you got to say House Party, too.
I'm about to say, House Party.
Yeah, she was a House Party. That
was early.
That was early.
It would be early.
I was talking about feature films, though. So she did that, like when I was talking about, because it was basically a surprise to everybody, because this one, Steve Martin was fresh off Saturday Night Live, and he was now regularly doing films. This was after Pink Panther. This was after all the other shit that he was doing, Roxanne and all that. This was later on in the 90s when he was starting to do these dad roles. Remember, 95 or 96 or 97, something like that. Bringing Down the House.
2003.
Get the fuck out of here. That was that
2003. Late? Like I said, this was not mid her career. This is mid. Her earliest movie. Oh no, not her
earliest, right? But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about feature.
Her earliest is what?
She didn't get into. She wasn't featuring in films that early. Like, she had smaller parts. Matter of fact, believe it or not, the only part that did you know that the first role,
like her earliest movies, Jungle Fever, House Party was 91.
The first film that she was actually slated as the #1 marquee person in the movie was the movie with Common, Just Right. Every other time she was a co-star.
Yeah.
Set it off. All their names were on the title.
Nope. Don't do that. No,
but the names were on the title.
There is an A booking and a B booking and a C booking and a D booking.
Jada
4 people in the movie. Yeah. Matter of fact, you have to remember.
Jada and which call was A?
Yup.
Queen Latifah was second.
Queen Latifah was third.
Queen Latifah was second.
Oh, they bullshitted on that when they switched it up then. Because initially, I remember it.
Because it's Queen. Jada.
Because Vivica was huge. Vivica was huge back then. Yeah, because Vivica did Independence Day. Yeah,
I wanted to say I swore it was.
Yeah, but they probably switched it up. Yeah, no, listen, I understand. But I'm telling you, I remember Vivica Fox being second on the market. But all right, but they switched it up.
No shade, Queen. No shade.
But no shade. But that's what I was saying about after all those years, that Just Right movie with Common was the first time that Queen Latifah ever, just like we were talking about LL, who just so happened is the what are you showing me?
Well, I'm showing you that look in the middle.
No, what I'm telling you is
that Queen is second.
All right.
I'm looking in the articles and is Jada and then Queen.
So listen, initially,
Queen first.
What I'm saying, you got Queen first on there. See, that's what I'm saying. The marquee changes a lot. What I'm talking about is initially when the movie came out, because Vivica was huge because she came off of that stretch. She did Independence Day, and I didn't believe that was the same person. I was like, who the fuck is that? They was like, oh, that's the girl from Independence Day. I was like, no, it's not. They was like, yes, it is. Independence Day was the biggest movie in the world at the time. And
in fact, Will got nominated for some shit then.
No, ain't nobody get nominated.
He didn't get nominated for anything off of Independence.
It might have been like a People's Choice Award or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Not Independence Day. Not even a Golden Globe. The
only thing, Independence Day, if Independence Day got nominated for an Oscar, it was for special effects.
Yeah, special effects or something like that. All right, so
not acting.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. All right, so the top 5, that was the top 5, but we had one honorable mention. Who was the honorable mention, Kelly? It was LL Cool J. You look stuck.
It was LL. And I was going to say with Queen Latifah, she also starred in Joyful Noise with Dolly Parton. Mama's Forest Family with Cicely Tyson.
What did she get nominated for the Oscar for?
Chicago. My movie.
Chicago. So all right.
And what I like about that is because that also wasn't a black role, wasn't a white role. It was just a role.
Right. No, absolutely.
That's what grabs.
No, absolutely. And then also, so we talk about LL as the honorable mention. LL did, but we gonna breeze through. We ain't gonna give him that much time like we did everybody else because he's the honorable mention. But at the end of the day, he was another one. His first starring role wasn't until what movie? Don't do that.
Was Deliverance from Evil?
Nope. He was the second. He was the second star of that. Omar Epps and Cool J. Omar Epps was the lead character.
Yeah, 99 and 2 Deep.
No, he wasn't. But wasn't the lead character. Omar
Kingdom
Epps.
Come.
No, that was after this.
Wasn't
movie.
Deep Blue Sea? Yeah, co-star. He was a co-star.
Halloween. He was a co-star.
Right.
Poured Up. He was a co-star.
It was a movie that a lot of people don't know about.
Crush Groove.
No, it was a movie a lot of people don't know about.
He was only 16 then.
It was a movie a lot of people didn't pay attention to with Dwayne Wade's wife.
I just said Deliverance from Eva.
Deliverance from Eva. I thought you said Deliverance from Evil. I'm not.
No, and Deliverance from Eva was 2003. Okay. Kingdom Come was 2001. And he was the lead in that one.
Main character in Kingdom Come?
Yes.
You sure about that? Because Whoopi Goldberg was in that movie.
I know Whoopi Goldberg played his mother.
I thought she was main Mark Ford on it.
Everything surrounded him and how he dealt with his father's death.
I remember it, and they made it a major deal when they said that. They said this is the first time that LL has gotten lead role in a movie. So I think that he was the main character, but I don't think he was the lead role because of his name. You couldn't. At certain points, you can't sell a movie with somebody that is not the lead character if they don't know it for certain. Like if you put like back in the day when Will Smith and Martin were first did the first Bad Boys, Martin Lawrence was the original Marquis.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Will Smith is because he's bigger than Martin Lawrence. That's how they work that situation out. So that Kingdom Come movie.
Kingdom Come was LL's first major
major movie.
That's the one. Vivica played his wife, Jada his sister-in-law, Anthony Anderson was his brother.
She had a miscarriage in a chicken bucket. Yeah, I remember.
Right, right. What's the name? Loretta Devine played his crazy aunt.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I remember that movie. I remember that. All right, but that was that was fun, y'all. That was fun. That was fun. Hold on, let me give it a small round of applause if I can find my clap thing or not. Yeah, just clap. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, get your clap.
Yeah, get the clap. Hold on. There we go. That was very, 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 very enlightening. But that can lead me directly into the Naked Truth. Actually, you know what? Before I say the Naked Truth, I actually kind of like that format of top 5 or whatnot. We might want to revisit that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like blending them together to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you don't want to get too extra eclectic, because Kelly always try to.
I think.
You know what I'm saying? Get extra.
If we do it like that.
Oh, you don't remember when he starred in that old movie back in '74, Dirt Under Your Nails, when your ass stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that was his first starring role. You didn't know that shit? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm going to go deep. I'm going to get my information right.
The shittiest of actors back then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, this is the Mr. Know-It-All podcast.
Well, what the hell did you just say? Why you looking at me like that? Why you look? Are you listening to this? Is a dog barking or something? No. Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, as long as no crimes being committed. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, like, you know, I don't know. But listen. So on to the Naked Truth. The Naked Truth this week, y'all, is just about basically we're gonna be opening back up. You know, just continue to everybody do what you was doing. Please wash your hands. Please wear your mask.
Wash your hands and
wash your ass.
Still practice social distancing.
So yeah, practice social distancing, because apparently I'm trying to tell you, the world is not gonna sit up here and wait for people no more. I'm trying to tell you, they've been opening barbershops and gyms and shit before the governor even giving them permission. So they basically saying fuck that. So it's just about time to get on. You know what I mean? Get ready for this summer, whatever this summer leads to. You know what's funny? I think that what's going to lead to a lot of this summer is shit like it's going to be probably a fucking block party in the middle of Roosevelt Boulevard. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're going to need the space.
People going to need the space. You know what I'm saying? People just going to be coming out the crib and whatnot. Everybody going to be like, yo, it's popping down at the Platte. It's going to be parties at the Platte. They're going to have just regular streets blocked off. So my suggestion would be...
I told you, with the plateau blocked off, everybody is around the corner.
I know.
In the lots, man.
Yup, they was at the car barns, and they went over to the other side. Yeah, it's all.
I still want to have a parking lot party with my girls.
Oh, it'll happen. Trust me, it'll happen. It'll happen. And honestly...
We can put our cars in different spots.
One thing, you know what's funny, though? You have to remember, though, when they start doing these parties and shit out in public, remember the club was kind of like a roof. The club and the bar is a roof for the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You have to give a roof to fuckery to keep it in place. Once you get fuckery outside, you know what I'm saying?
Then you get smashed.
What happened the other day?
What happened the other day? Pissing on people. Yeah, exactly. Humping on roofs. People having sex in public.
Stripping in public because they had on
shirts. It looked like Freaknik from the videos that he showed us. It looked like 91, 92 Freaknik.
So 2020 summer, I think 2020 summer gonna be Freaknik. I think they're gonna be wild. They about to start wilding the fuck out.
Yo, I looked out the window. I looked out the window. Listen, I looked out the window and I seen at least 15 females with onesie, you know what I mean, spandex drawers on. You know what I mean? And most of them look like they ain't had no drawers on.
Yo, what is
Well, you can't wear drawers with that. Anyway.
Thanks for the info. With the ass part out with the 2 buttons in the back.
The easy access.
So I know this goes, this
easy.
Is already.
Why you wear your pants like that? Easy access, baby.
It's gonna be wild, man. So look, everybody just be careful, because I'm telling you, this they They're giving $25 32-ounce fucking mixed Henny punches out of the bars now. So you can just basically take it outside, and they be like, "Oh, don't drink that shit out here." They give you a fucking straw, and it's in a Chinese store container. Guess what's gonna happen? Niggas getting drunk in public. It's gonna be real. So they've been together. I don't know.
The summer of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I have one word for what I'm expecting it to be.
What's that?
Ratchet.
Oh, ratchet.
I don't think we've seen Ratchet.
I think it's gonna be a new. I think by the end of this summer, it's gonna be a new name worse than Ratchet.
Ratchet. It's gonna be. Yeah. It's just gonna be fucking stank. I think it's gonna be some stank shit going on.
I don't think we've seen the true definition of Ratchet yet.
No, we haven't. I don't
think we have.
We haven't. It's gonna be stank. It's gonna be some nasty fucking.
It's gonna smell outside.
Yes. You know how.
Did you see the chick? Did you see the girl panties that was on the lady roof?
No.
Yo, what the fuck?
You ain't see a girl panties? You ain't see the chick panties on the?
No, because at a point I had to stop watching.
This shit was just.
Listen, whenever you see, it got worse because the shorty was on the motherfucking joint with a fucking dress pulled up, legs open. Yeah, I mean, what looked like her girlfriend's drawers on.
What was that about? She about a size 1 that had fucking a size 9 bloomers on. Yeah. Yo, what the fuck is going on? Yo,
you got a saggy G-string and then you got your legs open on somebody's vehicle.
This summer is going to be nasty as shit.
You're putting all your chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, and everything else on somebody's roof. This
summer is going to be fucking disgusting. I already know it, man.
You remember
germiciding somebody else's roof.
You remember
I gotta hit the Mike Epps line, the wolf.
How to Be a Player.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite movies.
You remember when Bernie Mac walked in on his wife and said, "What's that smell?" That's what outside is going to smell like. Outside is going to smell like pussy.
Remember when the kids used to come in like, you smell like outside?
You smell like all outside?
Like all outside gonna smell like pussy. Mm-hmm. You was at one of them plateau parties, wasn't you? Smell like pussy. Like, oh God. But that right there was the naked truth. And I think it's gonna be the naked truth. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, somebody is gonna get cited for being naked this summer. Niggas gonna be naked. Somebody gonna be naked. People gonna be naked outside. It's gonna be naked shit. I'm trying to tell you. It's gonna be 105.
There's naked people outside every year.
Yeah, I know, but it's gonna be like ridiculously.
No, fucking sad. Quick story. This was like 10 plus years ago. I had my stepson and stepdaughter in the car. Mm-hmm. I'm on my way to go pick up my flyers from Broad and Poplar. Right. So I'm stuck in traffic between 15th and Broad.
Right.
As we're getting close up, there's a chick, a woman. Pulls her pants down on the side of the joint. Like pulls them down to her ankles and then sitting on the steps facing where the traffic is coming down, taking a fucking piss.
Yep. Welcome.
Finish business and sits there.
Welcome to summer 2020. Nasty asses everywhere. That has been in my mouth. Truth. That has been the naked truth. But and now, hold up, can't forget the leeway.
I know what you're asking yourself. The answer is yes. I have a nickname for my penis. It's called the Octagon. But I also nicknamed my testes. My left one is James Westfall, and my right one is Dr. Kenneth Noisewater. If you ladies play your cards right, you just might get to meet the whole gang.
I love the Marvel intro.
Yo, I've been on my Marvel shit too. I've been going through the whole series. I'm at the Infinity Wars right now.
It's time for another tale from the industry featuring R. Ryder.
So we get the cucumber story now.
Or whatever story you see. Phil.
No.
What's your
It's got to be the cucumber story because he started it.
Go ahead. What you got for us today?
I just hope, Kelly, that at the end of this story, you are still as hyped to hear about the cucumber story.
Oh, I'm not hyped to hear about it.
No, you're going to hear about it. You're going to learn today what happened to a cucumber a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
At a place called Second Cousins.
Ooh.
But unlike what you're accustomed to usually hearing from me, I was actually at a female show. And this was a lot of the Triple X stars was there. Janet Jack, me, Champagne, Spontaneous.
Janet Jack.
Yeah. A lot of my Deja, a lot of my, you know what I mean? This was, I'm gonna say late 90s, maybe the beginning of 2000s, probably late, you know what I mean? So a lot of them there, and just almost like as packed as our joints is, it is, except they have a stage on they put the stage, the floor almost in the center.
Right.
So have this girl, and it's funny because we was talking about fisting girl, you know, so nice chick. I honestly really don't remember her name to this day. But she became a star, somewhat. But she on the jaw, she doing the thing. So cause motherfucker spending money, she takes a candle, you know what I mean? Pours a little wax in the coochie, you know what I mean? Of course, niggas is tipping, spending money. Wipes that shit off, turn around, packs ass cheek, cause it's a long slumps candle, puts it, you know what I mean, inside the pussy, you know what I mean? So it's you contracting her muscles, she's pushing it in and out. So of course that's making motherfuckers get a little wild, and then the motherfucking wax is dripping down, and it's a white candle. So it's like, okay, you know. So motherfuckers is getting hyped. So she, you know what I mean,
she's a pro.
Takes the candle out, hands it to a girlfriend who blows it out. This is that and the other.
Oh, it was lit. Oh shit.
Yeah, it was lit. Yeah, that's why I said the wax was dripping down.
Right.
While she, yep, yeah, real gangster.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
So
that's hot.
Yeah, it definitely was hot. Turns around, pours baby oil all over herself. You know what I mean? Gets to play around, masturbating, starts fingering herself, turns it to putting the whole hand in the pussy.
Oh,
goes from the hand, she puts over to her elbow.
Her own hand?
Well, excuse me, her up to her what?
Her own hand.
On her back, she stretches it, put both legs behind her shoulders, puts her hand all the way up to her elbow, and slowly put it all the way up in.
This is ELASTIGIRL? What the fuck is
Takes it out, puts it back in up to her elbow. Get a little farther, but not too much farther. Takes it back out. Takes some more, plays with her asshole. Puts her hand in the wrist, not quite to the elbow, but you know what I mean, forearm almost, into her ass.
Ow.
What wasn't being understood was she was lubricating her insides and stretching her insides in preparation.
Oh, shit.
She had a girlfriend into a bag, and no homo, this was the biggest cucumber I've ever seen in my motherfucking life.
Nigga, it's
a
vegetable. It's not homo.
No, this motherfucker like it was on steroids. This motherfucker was like about this big, you know what I mean? About this fucking thick. Like this shit was like damn near thick. This shit was thicker than a hoagie roll. All right?
God damn.
Okay, so this was a fucking huge ass fucking cucumber. So he turns around, plays around, slips her halfway, whoop, slip the whole thing in the pussy. He's going crazy.
The whole thing?
The whole thing in. Niggas going crazy. Money flowing. Whoop, slide it back out, right?
Oh,
slip, play with a halfway point for the ass, right? Just playing. At this point, she take her hands off, so her ass got it going back, you know what I mean, contracting her ass muscles. What we also realized was going on is she's stretching her muscles, preparing her muscles to go to work. You know how we have to stretch, you know, when we first get in the gym, before we start working out, before we, you know what I mean, go get to hit that bench?
Right.
This was the wind up for her. Nah, Kelly, uncover your face. Uncover your face, Kelly. Nah, uncover your face. Stop looking like Kenny right now off South Park. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. And you blending in with the polka dots.
Oh, gosh.
But, all right. So, takes it out. Licks on this motherfucking cucumber.
She licks on it?
With the cucumber.
Intestines. Jesus Christ. Good.
Flips it back in the pussy. Say, I got a little special trick for y'all. But I need to see some motherfucking money.
Oh my God.
I see the right amount of, I see the right amount of cash. I'm gonna break this motherfucking cucumber in two. Niggas like, yeah, all right. But
what?
niggas,
it's inside, but she's gonna break it in half.
Her legs are behind her back, behind her shoulders.
Yeah.
The cucumber is inside of her vagina. You don't see no parts of the cucumber.
Hold the whole thing in there.
The whole cucumber is in her. The whole cucumber is in her. She said, huh, you heard crick. Boop, boop.
Yo, I done gave him my fucking car keys. Here you go. You deserve
nigga.
That is
you know niggas went ape shit. Fuck that. You got it all. I couldn't fuck you. I just eat the pussy. I can't, you know what I mean? You give me some head. I don't even know if the asshole's safe. You might break my dick in your asshole. I'll tell you the whole thing.
That's a dangerous person right there. She has learned the artistry.
You heard of people having hands registered as dangerous weapons,
lethal
weapons.
Yes. Listen. Her vagina should be registered as a lethal weapon. And not for the reason that most
this cucumber, no exaggeration, this cucumber was about that fucking thick. Okay? Yeah. About, I want to say at least 4 inches. Oh, 4 inches in yeah, I mean
in diameter. Oh my Lord.
Oh shit.
That joint was over a foot in length. It was clear. It was almost a foot and a half, honestly.
Yo.
Like, and you
was she tall?
How tall was she?
I want to say maybe like 5'8", 5'7",
okay.
5'8". She wasn't.
If she was my height, she wouldn't have been able to do that.
No, that's me estimate. Tall girls got deeper. Yeah.
No, because they say it's usually smaller. Arm. They say it's usually
They got more arm. They got more legs.
No, because the old saying has always been that the skinnier joints got deeper joints.
That's what I heard too.
I've had some who I will agree with, but I had a slim old head joint who had been dealing with for back and forth for some time. You know what I mean, when we was dealing, so cool, but I never in our dealings ever even got my whole no homo shaft all the way in her. Mm-hmm. So it
that's not
homo.
Right.
Well,
yeah, no, I never. Yeah, you said that. You said that to me, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
All righty, well,
right. Yo,
cucumber brute.
And that,
she broke it. She abused the cucumber with her vagina juice.
That has been another tale.
She broke the cucumber into
the cucumber slayer.
Is that the name of the show?
The cucumber slayer.
The cucumber slayer, yo. Oh my gosh, man!
What the fuck was she doing with some eggplant?
God damn, she probably do the same thing to a fucking eggplant.
Can you imagine that?
Make eggplant spaghetti
or squash. Like
she gonna squash the squash.
Yo, that's some shit, dog. That's like honestly, and so let me ask you a question. Do you think that women that know how to do shit like that have spent a lot of time by themselves? I think
you got practice.
You spend more time by yourself than anything in the world to know that you can break a cucumber with your vaginal muscles.
I wouldn't say
practicing.
I wouldn't say just
what I'm getting.
I wouldn't say just back then. This was especially the 90s. Mm-hmm. Females were always. I mean, I can't say that females aren't trying to still.
It's not something that you just know you can do.
No, listen.
No, never.
It's not something you just learn to do. I mean, you gotta practice that. I'm pretty sure you gotta. How many cucumbers? And honestly, I think she did it accidentally by the first time. I would honestly say she was probably doing actually performing and did it by accident the first time.
Yeah.
And figured out how to do it. Yeah, I mean, and so she just, fuck it. What? Hey, that's marketing.
That's some crazy. But in order to get your arm all the way up there, first and foremost, I think all that shit is dead in there. All that's dead in there.
No. Listen. can I, and this personal, but this past ex, my quote unquote ex-wife who used to dance, dude, she used to put her old arm into her shoulder in the cootie, and put her arm all the way to her elbow in her butt. All right, and listen and understand when I say this. I was there at shows where she did this, especially when we first got together.
Holy shit!
And she was tiny. She was 4'11". She was short. 4'11", about 135. All right, she was tiny, little tiny thing.
Fitting your own arm in your inside of yourself.
It was one thing for her to do that performing.
Mm-hmm.
When we got sexual, and again, this ain't no I'm the biggest guy because I'm not bigger than her arm. I'm gonna be honest.
Yo, I hope not. But, you gotta call a fucking doctor if that's the case or whatnot. You got a fucking problem with that.
But she could deal with that because she was dealing with it. It was a difference when we had sex. When we had sex, you know, and then I was a young boy too. I was just murdering shit at first. I was just slaying. I was slayer.
I don't know, nigga. That's still an arm. She probably just liked you a lot. Yeah, that's what it is. They like you a lot.
We know what we feel.
Y'all be faking the shit out of shit sometimes, don't y'all, Kelly? When y'all like the nigga, fake the show, fake the fucking funk.
Yo,
like nigga, you killing it. Nigga ain't doing shit.
Black women don't fake.
Bullshit. I had a person who tried to tell me they was a virgin, and they thought because I was 17.
Okay, look,
difference, and I slid in.
That was a lie. That was a lie.
So black women don't fake.
See, oh, you my
black
first.
Women don't fake.
Fake
and lies, two different things. Fake and lie too. That she said she was a virgin.
You lying about that?
That's a lie. But to
the sad thing, that same person of
I don't know what you're talking about. Black
probably
women
20 times we dealt.
Mm-hmm.
I only got a chance to finish 3 times. That was the and I'm like, yo, I'm in there, and I'm like, I got room. Like I ain't deep sea, but I got room. I'm hidden, but I got room, and you acting like I'm massacring the fuck out of you.
And that's the whole thing. Women be faking sometimes. She probably fake
Maybe it do feel good.
Maybe it do feel good or whatnot, but feel
good and act like I'm hurting you.
You can tell. I think you can tell sometimes, right? You can tell or whatnot sometimes. Like if you see the vein in the neck, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I mean, and they do the little squeeze, the little eyes roll back in the head. You know you're doing something right and whatnot. But you can't do all that shit. You can't do all that shit with the fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like the fake it. I don't know, man. Women is all right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, we gonna let
black
you.
Women don't fake. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, real shit though. Fuck it. I faked the nut before.
I've never done that.
I've done
it. You said you did. You said you did.
I said I did.
No.
Oh, I'm about to say I don't remember that, but yeah, okay.
I faked the nut before, more than once. Well, I mean more than one person. But yeah, I try not, but I've done it. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was just getting bored, and you had to get the fuck out of Dodge.
It was just done.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta be on. But we about to get out of here. We about to get out of here. But y'all checking out this 112 Jagged Edge thing?
No.
You're a hater, Kelly. And then Kelly, and that's another thing I want to ask you about. How you sleep? You are disrespectful to 112. To think that 112
No.
20 bangers.
Name them.
I'm about to. Don't make me pull up the fucking 112.
Give me 20. Give me 20.
Let me pull up the 112 this hour. This is some bullshit.
20 bangers
because
or 20 hits?
Jagged Edge doesn't.
20 bangers. 20 bangers or 20 hits?
5 off top. Here we go. Peaches and cream.
That's 5.
It's over now. Only you. Okay. All right. So that's all right. So that's 4. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go.
You take it too long.
Sweet player, sweet love, smile, caught up, still in love. All right, so that's 10.
Never heard of none of them after the first 5.
Oh my! See, Kelly, you tripping?
She ain't get the album.
I know. What you call it? Hold on. Let me see.
It was if she heard it on the radio. She heard it.
I know.
Exactly. Nothing about one or two of their songs made me want to invest in the whole CD.
They're the
and
only
Jagged
ones.
Edge.
They are the only
Jagged
ones.
Edge.
They are second to.
They all sound.
They are third to Boyz II Men and Jodeci with the bangers, with singing groups, and from the 90s.
Motherfucking lies you tell.
What? Name another one.
Anybody.
Who?
Anybody.
I mean, I'm not talking about. Don't say New Edition because they're the Godfather.
No, I'm not saying New Edition.
All right, tell me somebody else from that. What you call?
Nobody from that era was hitting because nobody had hits.
You crazy.
You got Boyz II Men and you got who?
Boyz II Men, Jodeci.
Boyz II Men, Jodeci.
112, Dru Hill. You's a hater. You see how she skipped 112? How do you? So the better battle would have been 112 and Dru Hill.
The better battle would have been 112 and Dru Hill, just because
Jagged Edge ain't got
Jagged Edge. First of all, Jagged Edge can't handle that smoke.
Right.
But every song sounds the same.
You know, I understand. I agree with you.
Every song sounds the same.
I'm explaining why
they don't let the other two dudes sing. Like at least 112, I could tell a couple. Right, no, but I can tell when Slim is singing. I could tell when Q is singing. I could tell when the other two are singing. They bounce back and forth with their singing. All Jagged Edge songs.
Jagged Hill.
I'll take it Dru Hill. All Jagged Edge songs sound the same because they keep right. But even Jodeci, most times, 9 times out of 10 with Jodeci,
Casey and JoJo.
But they let other people influence their songs. They got songs from different people, and their songs sound different. Right. All this, not one Jodeci song sounds like the next Jodeci song.
You got a couple.
112 is one of the top. 112 is one of the top 20 singing groups of all time.
I agree with you. I'm gonna tell you exactly why it's Jagged Edge versus 112. They both came out at the same time. It was always a competition between.
Don't switch off.
Don't cut your camera off.
She's gonna cut off before your camera. Don't do that. Don't cut off.
That's why. That's honestly politically why it's 112 versus Jagged Edge.
Right.
That's if you really think about it, they both came out around the same time. It was pretty much 112 was Puffy's group. I mean, and the other was JD's group.
Right, you're right. But that's the reason. But I still would have wanted Dru Hill in them because I feel like that's a better battle. Dru Hill
came out after.
Right after Dru Hill came out like 98, 99, and 112 came out
97.
97. When 112 came out like 90, 95, 96.
Well, yeah, 96 is when it was released. 95 is when they recorded.
When they came, right, when they recorded, right.
Yeah, because I want to say they
because Big was still alive when 112 was out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like
they're all missing you.
How do you, Kelly?
Dru Hill came out 96.
Right. Kelly, you tripping with the 112 hate. The 112 is that shit.
Here.
112 is that shit.
You gotta listen to more. You gotta listen more of their songs. You have to listen.
112 Jagged Edge. I'm gonna give this to 112.
That's hands down.
That's hands down.
I think 112 smokes Jagged Edge.
Let me borrow your line. First and foremost, 112 is going to smoke not Dru Hill, Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
First things first. First and foremost.
Right.
Jagged Edge shouldn't be battling anybody.
I agree with that. I'm not that Jagged Edge hate, but I understand.
The reason why I'm not watching it is because of Jagged Edge. It's not because of 112. Now you can't really name me 20 songs that, like I said, I can't name 20 songs. I can't name you. I can 112.
I can give you 20. I can't give you 20.
Those 5 that you named. Boom! I know those bangers because they play it on the radio. But you ain't never
heard I'm a Player. You ain't never heard Sweet Love. You ain't never heard
Sweet Love is no.
I could make you smile.
I know they did the remix of they did the remake of All Cried Out with that other group Allure.
Yeah, okay, right.
That was fire. That was fire.
Yeah.
However, personally,
Sweet Love,
nothing about 112.
Sweet Love is one of the most.
Listen, you have to listen to Sweet Love
ever.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
You have to
listen. Close. You accepted me. That shit is listen. Yo, man, you is sleeping on 112, and I find it very disrespectful that you do so. But I can understand. But they smoke Jagged Edge tonight and whatnot. But I think that they honestly should have paired up better. But if you haven't, see, the problem is I don't think that you've actually. Because I was talking to Sham, and Sham was like, "What is Kelly talking about? How she gonna say that 112 ain't got 20
Here's the question.
Kelly just coming up in her music. Remember we talked about your
it's
your
not
blossoming
that
in music.
No.
Oh, she has plenty of CDs.
I'm not blossoming in music.
She didn't buy CDs. If she liked the radio hits.
How old are you?
How old am I?
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Nigga, whatever. How old are you?
Say
it for the record. Say it for the record.
I'm 30.
Huh? You're just supposed to be proud of this before this just happened.
But I know 37.
Thank you. You're 37.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be 44.
Okay.
So you have to understand.
I'm going to be 40.
Where our boy group music was.
But see, it's not about what you prefer.
When 112 came out,
right?
I was on my Silk. I was at a whole different space. So I was rather listening to Silk and get my grown up on.
Can you name 20? Can you name 20 Silk bangers?
I don't think
that whole damn Red Tonight album.
But wait a minute, Silk and 112 didn't run concurrent, so nobody is saying that you had to cut off your fans.
But that's what I did.
Listening at a certain point.
Well, no,
I listened to who I wanted to. Just
because you like OJs and Muddy Waters and whatnot, and you I said all that shit back then. It don't mean that you can't like the other shit.
No, check it out.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the prime example.
Okay.
Brandy versus Monica.
Okay.
You rarely can find someone that bumps with both.
That's bullshit. I like Brandy and Monica. I like
Brandy and Monica. But how many Brandy CDs do you? Well, when CDs were out or downloads or whatever it is,
right.
How many do you own compared to the other one?
I mean, I had a Monica
when I
CD.
look at my collection, because I just redid my whole CD collection that I still have.
Right.
I have more Brandy CDs than Monica.
See, I wasn't that I wasn't that bad. Them two bad. Niggas in the hood used to be like, because they thought Monica was cuter. You know what I'm saying? And Brandy had the far apart eyes, that they felt like, all right, you know what I'm saying, it was a problem.
I ain't like Brandy's voice or her braids.
I didn't like her face. But the whole thing is that didn't really have nothing.
But Monica was my babe off the rip. Like I just.
Right. Well, you know what I mean. Well, listen, y'all. This has been a great podcast. Episode 32 is in the books. Definitely want to give a shout out to the Spotify listeners, the Apple Podcast listeners, the Google Podcast listeners, the Stitcher listeners, Anchor listeners, and the rest of the whole team. And the YouTube viewers. You absolutely get with us on Facebook at Mr. KnowItAll Podcast fan page. Definitely follow us on IG. Mr. KnowItAll.
Stop listening to the song and do what you do your job, man.
And
should have played the other song.
Make sure you send all your fuckery to the Gmail account at mrknowitallpod@gmail.com. Oh yeah, I got a surprise for y'all. If you want to follow me, I revamped the Twitter account. It's at mVorheez. So that's MVOORHEEZ, and it'll take you to the Mr. KnowItAll Twitter account. You know, I'm not a huge Twitter fan, but you know what I mean. We on Twitter. You know what I mean. We vibing. We doing some things.
I ain't gonna say what I be doing on Twitter. I just be looking at stuff.
Look, Twitter. Somebody sent that stuff to me a couple of days ago.
Oh,
I
just be scrolling down my timeline.
You got some unsolicited Twitter pics. Kelly Q. Yeah, it happens. But on behalf of my
can't even say what they said, but yeah.
They said some crazy shit.
It was like, remember?
They tried to hit you with the Michael Jackson. You remember time.
I love that backdrop.
It'll be different next week.
I know you're gonna flip it.
I got 2 other curtains.
Oh, okay. Well then, listen. Whatever vibe you want, this is the vibe. On behalf of my constituents, Lord Rosada.
Yes. Thank y'all.
The Diva.
32, what do you do? Episode 32, what it do? Episode 32, what it do?
Next week we gotta talk about what we watching since we've been home on.
Yo, I told y'all I've been on Avengers shit. I started my shit last Sunday, like I said I was going through Avengers through chronological order. And I'm literally on Infinity Wars now.
Oh my
I'm halfway through there.
You've been watching straight.
Only thing I missed has been Hawk, because Hawk is not on anything streaming. And Sling,
because the studio owned it. I will talk about that. They owned it in a different time or whatnot. But on behalf of us, my constituents, I'm Mr. KnowItAll. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
R. in the building.
And you cannot forget.
Always.
You must not forget.
Remember.
Always.